There we go. Changed my USBs. Sorry about that. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Glad you could make it, Lysander. I know it's late over there, but everyone, if you've been watching the BG3 streams a little bit, Lysander and maybe some other people recommended that I play Pentiment in the chat for that. So I've been meaning to check it out. It definitely seems like a game that is more my speed than most games. I'm really hyped for it. Let's see, I can bring down the desktop audio a little bit. There we go. Because I'm about as loud as it gets. And I can also reduce the game audio a little bit too. Hopefully that's still hearable, but good. Because I love this music, my goodness. Oh. The music slaps, but so does your voice. Oh, thank you, Holland Fox. Lots of people here tonight. This is great. Hi, Extanac. Hi, Vitriol Link. Slime Mage. Waluigi Bowser, of course. John Dion. Mask for Mask. I love that fucking name. It's so good. Yeah, we're gonna have a little evening stream. Slime Mage. Did I say Slime Mage already? Thanks for being here, everybody. I'm really excited to try this game out. It sounds like it's totally my fucking jam. The music already bangs so much. And yeah, I know nothing of this game, Vitriol Link. It is really like a beautiful art style. I don't know that much about it, but everything that I've heard about, just like I've heard the history, the quality of the historical research on it is like spot on, and that a lot of the artistic styles they use are good. So I'm really excited to jump into it. Miss Anonymous Bra, hello, hi. About this soundtrack for vinyl. Don't even have a record player. Oh, I could see that. I love this kind of shit. Like, I just want to be in a room with just like a candle, writing on parchment, going insane, and just like eating like some pottage that like I've been adding little bits of sausages and oats to on top of the existing like rotting food, and just live like that. Like, oh, that's when I was meant to suffer, was in ye olden times. The imagined version in my mind. Oh, hey, Emihid, been wondering if I should get this game. I guess we'll find out and see. I'm, you know, I'm bad at any kind of like actually difficult video game. I live for a walking simulator and a storytelling game, and a game with cool vibes and the idea of the history, and it sounds really fun. So, Miss Anonymous Bra says, I introduced my boomer counselor to Unmasking Autism, and he thought it was amazing. Showed it to several of his friends. The counselor was ADHD and a monster on Doctor Who. That's cute. That's great. Thank you for continuing the unwitting pyramid scheme or whatever it is that I've benefited from, of people's therapists get recommended the book, and then those therapists go on to recommend the book, and the book just keeps continuing to have a life in that way. It's fucking crazy. So I'm glad people are liking it. Thank you for doing that. Yeah, it's very medieval mage yearning over parchment by candlelight. Yeah, exactly. I know the reality of these things is that life sucked, but you know, it's fun. I love reading about old timey food and how people lived and all that kind of shit. Especially like medieval and forward. Um, Visual novels. Yeah, I think it's kind of like that. Oh, hey, it's Farrar. Welcome. Uh, he's on some of the Doctor Who trading cards. That's amazing. So, so this is like perfect way to kind of chill out and hang with y'all and keep my brain mildly engaged for the evening because I have a late night ahead of me. I'm going out for like a DJ set that's at like 2 a.m. or something. So I slept in. The cat is passed out on her bed next to me, and we're gonna just scribble on some damn parchment and try to. I believe it's a murder mystery. Solve some kind of ye olden timey murder mystery in Pentiment. Um, so I'm looking to spend at least an hour or two, maybe 3 hours playing, getting my feet wet in the game. Dr. DJ. No, I'm not DJing. I'm just going. Um, oh yeah, I go out. A little bit less lately than I used to, but yeah, I get out. I get out and dance. But let's take a look at Pentiment. Maddie's watching Megalopolis right now. Oh my god, really? Oh, did she text you that she was, Eric? That's awesome. Because I was telling her she needed to. Having seen it twice now, I like think it's good. I also know Rory McCarthy, so it was awesome to see Rory in Unmasking Autism. Yeah, it's a small world. Oh, Maddie is on Blue Sky live tweeting uh, Megalopolis. Oh, shit. Okay, we'll do a check-in at a certain point on that. Or maybe we can do that right now. Let me first switch displays because my Blue Sky is just a like fetish account. I just typed Twitter because it's all the same to me. We'll see what Maddie has to say about it right now. Okay, we're gonna share screen. Watching Megalopolis now. Kind of love the costuming. What if what connects power also stores it? Great idea. What? I love how much Caesar loves nipple play. Okay, so she's 43 minutes in, and these are the takeaway points. My counselor said they wished you would publish a book called All That I Know But Did Not Write. Oh, buddy, that's my Tumblr, and it doesn't help matters. The things that I choose to leave in the drafts should be there for a reason. Unmasking Autism is a curated experience of hopefully the better angels in my nature, but there's a lot that ends up on the cutting room floor that's nobody needs to read. Or if they do read it, they should read it for free on Tumblr when they're taking in information of dubious quality, for sure. I followed your Blue Sky back when it was just regular old Dr. Devin Price, and now it's not. Yeah. Now it's just fetish content. Now that people are using Blue Sky, I mean, it makes it more tempting to look at, but I don't need another social media website. I don't need to do this to myself. So I'm not gonna do that. Pentiment. Hello, Bolts J. Most autism commentary is just autistic people suck, and it sucks to have it indirectly implied. Yeah, well, that's the baseline we're starting at, like, there's a new generation of books and scholarship coming out now that's more by autistics, and sometimes for autistics. Sometimes it's by autistics and for a presumed neurotypical audience. But we've come a long way in the last few years, and we still have a long way to go. Especially in terms of finding the synthesis between the people who do hate being autistic and have been silenced a lot and are still talked over, like nonverbal people with intellectual disabilities and stuff like that, and even their families who can, do a lot of messed up stuff, but to whom I have a great deal of sympathy towards, and the kind of more verbal type 1, level 1 autistics who get the stage and are allowed to say that we like being autistic some of the time, you know. There's a lot of ground to be done, and yeah, lots of generational stuff going on there. Oh no, that's okay. I like being able to talk about other things in addition to gaming while we're gaming on this here platform. But let's get into some Pentiment, because I'm excited to check it out. I think I got everything I need. Look at the accessibility settings. It's always interesting. High contrast, maybe. Instant dialogue. I assume that's instead of it like filtering out, so I think I'm gonna pick that. And I don't think I need voice assist, and I don't know if I'm gonna need better notification time, but we'll see. Alright, another accessibility note. Do we want the fancy fonts or the easy to read fonts? I'm gonna choose the fancy fonts. They still look mostly readable to me. She pent on my ment till I go medieval. Hell yes. And we got autosave, so anxiety, put that away. Fancy fonts do so much for the gameplay. Yeah, it seems that's what I've heard, is that it's in different contexts you see different fonts. My own autistic identity is a mess. Sometimes I hate, sometimes I feel empowered. Most of the time I just want to sleep. And that's real. You know, you don't ever have to love being autistic. Like, the project of disability justice is for you, whether you wish you weren't autistic or whether you have complicated feelings about it or not, you know? Like, the fact of the matter is it's not going away, but that doesn't mean you have to like it. And you can still, you know, we don't have to change our feelings. We have to change our actions in terms of just collective activism for disability justice, regardless of whether we have positivity about it or not. I wish I did not struggle. Right. And sometimes the only way to imagine it is, you know, I wish I didn't have sensory issues, or I wish I didn't have, you know, social exclusion. Yes, it's easier to make autistic lives easier than altering a brain. That's the idea. All right, we've got some text here, and I'm holding a little rock. I think I'm gonna probably scratch this off, it looks like. In principio erat verbum et verbum erat and diem et deus ex. I don't know what this means. So we're gonna erase that shit. We're gonna do a nice thorough job here too. Power washing. Book lovers perish. I'm of two minds about it, because I'm okay with potentially being autistic, but then I hate you and how annoying you are. Well, you know, if you'd like to find a less annoying group of people, I'd like to see you try. The rock erases better than my fancy erasers. Paper. Oh my god, the little kitty with the rock on it. Pentiment. Y'all can still hear the music, right? I hope you can hear it a decent amount. Frog. Oh, I'm just a guy. Okay, good. Yeah, no, I'm not amazing. I'm not anything to idealize. A lot of the writing I did was building on the scholarship other autistic people have done before, and you know, I'm glad people like the work, but that is just one small part of the human complexity and of who I am, and I've got a lot of flaws. And there's plenty of commentary on autism that my stuff doesn't touch on, you know, like especially the higher support need experience. All right, Bavaria, Holy Roman Empire. An artist sleeps. Xbox shut the studio down already? Oh my god, of course. Because they made something good. And so we're Andreas here. And the abbot said to me, Andreas, I don't want you distracting the sisters in the library. I need you to finish this commission by the end of April. Keep your conversations with Brother Piero to a minimum. Well, the thing that feels truest to me is worrying about your commission status, so I'm gonna pick that. Beatrice, isn't that much earlier than you were expecting? Yes, he had told me I had until the Ides of May. St. Grobian, asshole, and he's not gonna pay you anymore, is he? He has no appreciation for the cost of your sweat. Oh my god, look at St. Grobian, this little imp. I love him already. Oh yeah, Eric, you need to come visit. Oh, Devo was right here. It was like right on the corner. You missed out. Even though the venue that Devo was playing at here has a really bad sound system, but it would have been fun. Devo was at Riot Fest a couple years ago, and they were so energetic, you could hardly believe that one of them was in like a COVID coma for like a year at the beginning of 2020, and now can like do a full stage show. It was shocking. Socrates, the yield of labor should not be measured in coin, but in personal satisfaction and self-improvement. Oh yeah, that's Socrates right there. Okay. That's a different era. St. Grobian. Personal satisfaction doesn't put much food on the table, though, does it? Hee hee. Little anti-capitalist, little imp. Prester John. How do you reply to the abbot, Andreas? How did you reply to the abbot, Andreas? I said I would do my best to get it done by the end of April. I told him it would be done when it was done, sometime before the Ides of May. I shrugged and kept on working. Andreas, I think we're going to have stand up and assert his boundaries. Here's Loki, everybody. I'm going to stand by the original agreement and say, I'll get it done by the Ides of May, bitch. That's what I like to hear. What's he going to do? Find someone else to finish your work before May? It's true. Making enemies with the abbot may not be wise, but he needs your work. And the doing of the work is its own virtue, regardless of what the abbot may think. Prester John, despite the abbot's ire, you must endure. Soon you will have finished both the abbot's work as well as your masterpiece. And then you will return to Nuremberg, where marriage and your new life as a master await you. Ooh, we have annotations. Yes. Oh, I love books with endnotes and footnotes. Oh boy, I love metatextual shit. I didn't even know we were going to get little annotations. Ooh, okay. Nuremberg, free imperial city of the Holy Roman Empire. Major trade center and city of arts, including printing. Oh, fuck yes. Like, interact with anything else here? Looks like no. Oh my god, and that perspective shift, how cute. What does this eyeball do? Oh, okay. Okay, so I can kind of scroll over the page like this if I want to. Look at these furries. Right. I've heard that the Latin above the description actually says what has happened so far. It's so cool. That's dope. Oh. So good. Yes, and it's Loki, short for loquacious, not for Marvel properties. But I can't blame anyone for assuming otherwise. Yes, marriage to someone he has never met. Hardly ideal. while the alternative is becoming a philosopher. Oh, Jesus. Then you should definitely get married. Is she pretty at least? Oh, I can't click on Jesus. That's just for flavor. That's what my brother said in his letter, but maybe he's just trying to lift my spirits. The small portrait they sent was lovely, but we artists can be flatterers. Oh, who knows? That's not why I'm doing it anyway. I'm gonna say that. It is growing late. The wheel of time stops for no man, Andreas. I fear you must leave us. Ah, true, your majesty. Will you visit us again soon? Hopefully, but it's out of my control, your majesty. I don't know, your majesty. Well, I can't always dream of this place, your majesty. I'll say, well, I can't always dream of this place. Of course, if you are not here tomorrow night, I pray you will be someplace as pleasant. Yeah, I got these beautiful, supportive homies here. Grobian, please see Andreas safely home. Of course, your majesty. Until next time, Andreas. Until next time, your majesty. Yes! The homies are fighting. The fools. Pay no mind to the other fools, Andreas. I never do. Look at the guy licking. That's so cute. They're all so impish, so creaturely. This one's like a little kitty. This is so cute. Oh my god, so obnoxious, these fools. Ow! At least I would if they'd stop stepping on my feet. Yes, tag yourself. I'm the guy licking, for sure. That little imp. Watch where you're going. Hehe, they're fools, Andreas. No point in trying to teach them anything. I know old John wants you to endure the abbot's shit, but since I take you home, I get the last word. Don't let him run you ragged, boy. I won't. The abbot can't push me around. He's just trying to keep order in the abbey. I'm an outsider. It will be fine. I don't want to cause any trouble. The abbot can't push me around. That's what I like to hear. My foot. The movement is like on the main character. It looks really nice and smooth. Compared to the little storybook kind of paper craft movements of the other guys. It's really cute. And the wind effects here, everything, just like the movement of the sail, the fabrics, the paint, it's just, oh, it's so cute. God, would you please? Oh. Oh. I give up. Take me home, Grobian. Hee hee, as you wish, Andreas. The rattling. Oh my god, who is this child? Good morning, Ursula. Andrew. Very, very well said. Time to get up. The Baron, 1518. Few more pages, back to the Abbey. The Picatrix, Key of Solomon, the Heptameron, Prior why does it disappear? Prior Fenric keeps giving me all these books to read. Okay, so that's Prior Fenric. Or Ferenc. Ferenc. I really should clean this up. Oh no, I don't want to go to bed. I'm not tired yet. Perhaps after Compline. Monastic hour, corresponding to 8 p.m. One of the little hours of prayer. The monks and nuns retire to their dormitories shortly afterward. Ooh, we're going to be learning, you guys. So that's the hour. That's 8 p.m. and that's the hour of prayer. One of the little hours of prayer. Okay, cool. go on down to the Gertner house. I've taken to using candles for lighting in the evening, and it's adding to the Pentiment vibe. Oh, I love a candles in the tub. I love a candle vibe. It's so fun. Okay, let's talk to Ursula right here. Andrew. Okay, she's not fully verbal. She's a child. Okay, let's talk to Clara. Good morning, Andreas. Did you sleep well? Quite well, actually, thank you. Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. Anyway, I know you'll be off to the Abbey, so I packed you some food. Almonds, cheese, and some of the rye you liked from the Albans. Very nice. And I don't think too inaccurate either from what I've read. If they had almonds up there at that point in time, that's one thing, I'm not sure. Maybe some other kind of nut or legume. Otto wanted me to ask you to join him for dinner at the Abbey. Okay, and this is Otto. Wow, that dog is really well done. I love that. Okay, so that's Otto. Otto stopped by. Assuming it's the same image. Yes. Yes, around dawn. Here you are, Andreas. That's too kind of you, Clara. Many thanks. Master Andreas, if it wouldn't be too much trouble, could we... Would it be too much trouble if you paid next month's rent today? And if we raised it by 2 groschen? Groschen? A type of thick silver coin minted throughout the Holy Roman Empire. Groschen are typically worth 10 pfennigs, or where like pennies came from, as I understand it, but may be minted at different values. Okay. Damn, so she's asking for the rent early and she wants to raise it. This sucks. I hate to ask, but we're behind on our taxes to the Abbey. 2 months behind. Peter's losing his hair over it. Even more than usual, I mean. And there's Peter with a smart little cap to obscure the hair loss. Maddie hasn't said anything since nipple play. The film is working its magic. She's fully engrossed. Yes. I mean, there's a lot to be said about the first half an hour to hour of that movie, and then after that you're just like on the ride. I guess she's locked in. I enjoyed Megalopolis a lot more than most movies I've seen this year, even though it's bad. It's like The Room. I've seen it twice so far. I would see it again. I would impose it and inflict it on any number of people. Like, it's interesting, the choices. I don't know. It's bad, but it's really doing what it's doing, and I can respect that. Okay, so she's asking for the rent. Oh, there's like a little thought bubble option here. So I can say, of course, it's no problem at all. Besides, we wouldn't want Peter to lose more of his hair. I suppose that's not out of the question. Yes, I think I can manage that. I can't promise anything. Were these taxes unexpected? Let's click on I'm not sure how to respond to this. Rent wasn't due until the beginning of May. Oh, this is his internal conversation. Ooh. Okay, so he's got blorbos inside of him. Oh, so this is like a game about being a system in a way. Beatrice says, "Be generous, Andreas. You can spare the money and it will ease their burden." Socrates says, "You must take the consequences of inaction into account." And Grobian says, "What is this shit? Don't they pay taxes every year? Why is this falling on you to fix?" I'm gonna go Grobian. But filtering it through the super ego of Andreas, how are we gonna say this? I should just ask why they were surprised by their taxes. Or I should keep my thoughts to myself. Ooh, this is exciting. Um, Back in the day, when I was more of a dick, I would ask, "Why were you surprised by your taxes?" I'm gonna go a little spicy with it. She might be offended, but I should maintain some distance from their problems. I mean, she gave me a lunch, and this is obviously like a close relationship, but she's a landlady, so. Oh God. Okay, so now we've unlocked the why were these taxes Wait, no, that was already here, right? So I had kind of an internal dialogue to decide which response I'm leaning towards. Um, what do you guys think? Hmm. Is it okay if I wage your went? You're right, Emahid. Fuck 'em. Why were these taxes unexpected? Peter says our taxes didn't go up for years, but ever since we've been married, it's just gone up and up. It used to be that if we didn't have the money, we could make payment in kind with some of our crops. The abbot stopped that last year. Now, if we don't get a good price from the miller, it's hard to give the abbey its share. I know it's not your problem, Andreas, and Peter is too proud to ask you himself. Can you find it in your heart to help us out? Ah, God, that didn't help. Um, oh, jeez. Well, I'm only supposed to be here for a little while longer. Oh. Any movie where Aubrey Plaza gets her ass eaten is okay in my book. That's Aubrey Plaza, like, was so hot in that movie. I loved her in Megalopolis. That's my favorite performance of hers ever, honestly. Like, I was sick of the deadpan, cool girl thing that she's been doing her entire career. That, like, a certain, millennial and Gen X, generation of, like, straight dudes just, like, die for and just like want to be murdered by. But she was like a little bit more like sassy and like higher energy and stuff in and vampy and femme fatale in Megalopolis, and with a little touch of bimbo-ish ism. It's and like it was so good. She was so fucking good in that movie. Aubrey Plaza is my favorite part of that movie. You're gonna play by my rules was such a weird delivery. Every line read was so weird. She was maybe the only actor in the movie that understood the assignment. Hello, Mimer Goose. Yes, um, there was a huge range of comprehension of what the fuck was happening in that movie. I would say Aubrey Plaza was having fun. And I think Adam Driver was, he put his whole pussy into that performance. And so I think we can say something about that. I don't know if he understood what he was doing, but I'd be willing to give him that cred. Almost everyone else. Shia LaBeouf unfortunately ate. The rightly canceled Shia LaBeouf honestly slayed in that movie too, even though he deserves to suffer and not have a career. Okay, let's settle this. Um, uh, Basically now I have to say yes. Um, I suppose it's not out of the question, and yes, I think I can manage that. We're so grateful, truly, Andreas. I apologize again for asking. It's just awful to be stuck in such a position. Peter works hard, but it just never seems like it's enough. St. Luke bless you for helping us out. St. Luke, Christian evangelist and patron saint of artists and physicians, often represented by a winged bull. Unfortunately, talented people are the worst. I think humans are humans, you know, and a person's creative or professional success is in no way a reflection of their morality, one way or the other, and that you see the full spectrum of goodness, evil, and neutrality in everyone. But when there's financial incentives to protect someone who does harm, yeah, that fucks things up worse. Speaking of St. Luke, how is your masterpiece coming along? It's been 2 months now, hasn't it? God. Slowly, I'm afraid. Most of my days are spent doing work for the Abbey. It's only during the Divine Office that Prior Ferenc allows me to work on my masterpiece. Divine Office. the prayer times observed by all Christian monastic orders. Monks and nuns pray together 7 times a day and once at night, as dictated by the rule of Saint Benedict. That's so busy. That's so much. And this is Prior Ferenc. I think Shia LaBeouf is a great actor, and I want him to be hit by a bus. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. A reasonable restriction, but slow going. The city council doesn't require it to become a master. I'm making it mostly to show clients, and for my own sake. And yes, when I do finish, I will go back to Nuremberg, where I will marry and open a workshop of my own. Nuremberg, free imperial city of the Holy Roman Empire, major trade center and city of arts, including printing. From Nuremberg to a university and now traveling the world as an artist? What a life you have ahead of you, Master Andreas. Yes, I suppose it does feel like I'm starting a new chapter in my life after a few missteps, some wandering, a little too much fun. Some wandering. It must be rather frightening, starting all over again. I owe it to my family to make something of my life. It is, but I know now that this is what I want to do. I'm gonna go with that. This will be remembered. Not many people get to decide that. Didn't Benedictine monks invent the 8-hour workday or something? I don't know. I mean, everything about how people lived their days pre-industrialization was completely different. Meal times, sleep, whether people even slept all the way through the night or had 2 periods of sleep throughout the night with a big break in the middle for, snacking and carousing. It's just a totally different ball game. But it definitely seems like a lot of monks and nuns had the scam figured out for their time, where their job was to, just log on and write an email to God 7 times a day and, maybe help make some food, but, materially have things provided to them by the church. It was a whole, colonialist scam that was living off the conquest of the rest of the world and poor people giving them money and wealthy people patronizing them. But if you could get in on that scam, it seems like it was an easier life than what most people got at that point in time. Brew tonic wine, just Jesus stuff and getting drunk all day long. Yeah, not too bad. The 2 sleep theory is sort of debated within history, but very interesting. Ooh, Lysander, I'd love to hear more. It definitely seemed like an oversimplification how they talk about it on Tumblr of people always used to do 2 sleeps. I would imagine there's a huge diversity, just like with meal times or eating. Bartending has taught me to hate monks. Are you getting a lot of monks at the bar? Certainly not anyone in Tausing. Anyway, I don't know anything about art, but I've seen you sketching such beautiful things in your little book. The moms of artists be like, your masterpiece must be wonderful. It is. It's my finest work. It's getting there. Hard work will get you all the way. That's what my father used to say. God rest his soul. Now I have to get back to my own work. I mean, how the day was structured almost certainly varied by area much more than it does now. Oh, yeah. And lifestyle, what kind of work you did, how food was procured and prepared, whether it was done communally or if you were in, smaller social groups, everything about that, I would assume, impacts how people sleep. And, yeah, neurodiversity as well. What was considered normal for that time doesn't actually reflect what most people were necessarily doing. Have a good day at the Abbey, Andreas, and we'll see you after Vespers for supper. Vespers. Monastic hour at dusk. One of the major prayer hours. It is followed by supper. I hope I don't have to memorize this stuff. Or will it be in my journal? We're learning a lot of times. Not tonight, but thank you. Klaus Drucker invited me over for supper. And there's Klaus. Of course. Please say hello to the Druckers for us. Of course. Until later, Clara. Those lazy-ass monks don't want to produce any more chartreuse, and my signature cocktail needs it. Oh. Ugh. You're just like an artist who can't access the Vanta Black that you need. Truly suffering. Tumblr myths can be so interesting sometimes. People will still believe a text post with no sources while we have had image manipulation for years. Oh, well, you know, yeah, on Tumblr we would believe anything for any reason, like the infinite chocolate hack. Like, we have been falling for made-up shit that maybe sounds or looks cool since even before moms on Facebook were doing it. Like, we, on Tumblr, invented being credulous about the stupidest shit. It's great. If I see one more post referencing a historical figure that doesn't exist, I'll die. You're gonna die then. You're in trouble. If anyone is interested in the daily lives of monks, I'd recommend The Wandering Mind by Jamie Kreiner. It talks about how monks gave each other tips on how to focus in meditating, adjust to the lifestyle, etc. Oh, that sounds really, really dope. I might need to check that out. The Wandering Mind. I love learning more about history. I was just reading a book about the history of the American meal called Four Squares, The History of the American Meal. And it really, it just opens you up to how much every value and social practice around you is just assumed by the norms of your era, and none of it is objective or universal, and never was. Like, learning more about history just makes me question everything. It's amazing. Okay, I'm writing down the name of The Wandering Mind because that sounds very interesting. Yeah, I'm in the pocket of Big Monk now. Okay. So, now we can just look at, or talk to Eva and Clara. Hello, Andreas. Looks like there's nothing to say now. Hello, Clara. Can you spare a moment to chat? Of course, Andreas. How can I help? Oh yeah, we can follow up. You said you were behind on taxes to the Abbey. Exactly how much are you short? Oh, well, about 2 guldens worth. Gulden. Gold coins used as currency throughout the Holy Roman Empire. Though different standards exist for the gulden in different regions, it is generally equivalent to the Florentine florin. Okay, well that doesn't help, but thanks. If you can't pay your rent early, that's all right. I'm sure we can find some way to pay the abbot. I'm happy to contribute whatever I can. I know times are hard for you right now. No, I'll have my payment for you. I was merely curious. I'm gonna pick this one because I'd rather do that than say I'm happy to do it. Thought about being in a big monk's pocket and now I'm dizzy. Slime mage, you're so real for that. Ah, I see. Peter's too proud of a man to ask for charity when there's still ground to till. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have asked you about the rent in the first place. You're young and have your own life ahead. If you're sure. Oh, is she about to leave me off the hook? I'm taking it then. I am. I apologize for putting our burdens onto you, Andreas. That wasn't Christian of me. Please don't mention this to Peter. He would hate to know that I bothered you about all our troubles. He won't know a thing. Thank you, Andreas. Until later, Clara. Alright, good. I got off the hook. Alright, I think... Is that everything? Yes. Let's go to Gertner's farm outside. Ooh. Oh my god, look at this stupid chicken. Look at the little chickies. Oh my god, look at the pigs. Oh my god, they're so stupid looking, these chickens. Oh, holy Christ. I'm obsessed with them. This is so good. Okay. Let's talk to ill Peter. God bless you. Ah. Andreas. Ah, oh yes, Andreas. This weather's been god-awful. This town's gone to shit since my days. I don't think townsfolk can do much about the weather. Eh, well, of course they wouldn't know how to do anything now. No one follows the old ways anymore. The old abbot didn't bother us much about our customs. He didn't mind if we left a little offering to Perchta to keep the skies clear, the weather fair. Perchta, pagan goddess of the Alps, associated with animals and spinning wool. She is still invoked by some Christians in Austria, Switzerland, Bavaria, and Swabia. Perchta. Cool. Matthias knew that Christ was in our hearts, even if the White Lady's name was on our lips. Let's see, what sort of old customs? Thought St. Moritz protected Tassing. You think the spirits have been fouling the weather since no one follows the customs anymore? Heh, sharper than you look, eh? The saints weren't the first to watch over Tassing. My father knew that. Old Ranning Kemper knew that. Ranning Kemper, the late husband of Ottilia. Boomer alert. Rat her out, she was skimming you. I will. That bastard abbot may not like it, but some of us keep the traditions alive. Like the old widow, Ottilia. Yeah, like the old widow. Yes, yes, she always hangs the door frame with lavender to keep the spirits out. I see. Cough, cough. I should go. All right. God bless you. He's not a boomer because the old ways he's wanting to return to are the ones that were kind of forced out by the church. So I'm with him. I'm with the old grump. Now let's talk to Peter. Andreas. Oh, it's not letting me. Let's see if I click here. Okay. No, we're just not having a deeper conversation. It's just acknowledging me. That's fine. Let's head on out. Big Jorg. Morning, Andreas. Morning, Big Jorg. How's it going? You working today? Just taking a rest for a bit. Dad's still in the field. He hit a big rock with the plow, and it took me Lord knows how long to pull it out. You off to the Abbey? Every day but Sunday. Right. Thank God for Sundays. I'm noticing how much just all of the religious language is put in red text, and how even the time of day is marked by words relating to what prayers are being said then, and just the effort that the game is taking to really hammer home how much life was shaped by the church and its teachings and indoctrination, and how that is the culture, and just noticing that. It's very effective. Because it would be easy to let a phrase like thank God just kind of pass you by and take it for granted, but it's kind of really highlighting that these things came from somewhere and came from social conditions and political developments. It's wild that there are still persistent pagan religious beliefs in Europe. In my own area, people venerate the Green Man. That is so cool. I mean, I know there's a lot of weird, shady, and sometimes even kind of, fucked up and fascistic or white supremacist ways that people try to, like, revive paganist stuff, but, like, I think any earnest attempt people can make to, like, research and reconnect to practices that were indigenous to the area is, like, a really cool, interesting thing, especially that it has survived in some form in some parts of Europe is after that many centuries is amazing. It's crazy. No matter how limited or garbled by kind of modern influences and attempts to, reclaim it, sometimes not always for the most, clear-eyed of ends. Like it's still cool that it exists in some forms, even though I know like the church sought out to assimilate a lot of existing cultural practices. Um, it's nice that some of it is still there. Smells like a storm's coming, no? Huh. Just smells like fresh alpine air to me. You've been traveling too much. Where was it you spent your Wanderhar. My American pronunciation. I'm sorry, everyone. Wanderhara, Yara. Before you came to Tassing. Wanderyar. Oh, it's Wandering Years. Okay, Wanderyar. Wandering years, during which a journeyman artist or craftsman travels far and wide to improve their skills. Where was it that you spent your Wanderyar before you came to Tassing? Ooh, oh my god. Wow. I can choose a background for myself. Let me just move my chat screen here. Basel. Andreas knows some Italian and French and can reference cultural touchstones from Basel and nearby Bern, Zurich, and Freiburg. Low Countries. Andreas knows some Dutch and French and can reference cultural touchstones from Antwerp, Bruges, and Ghent. Italy. Andreas knows Italian, a little Greek, and can reference cultural touchstones from Florence, Venice, and Milan. Oh, this is so fun. I'm going to pick Italian. Italy. Florence for a while, but Venice and Milan as well. Ooh, we're getting multiple footnotes. Let's start with Florence. Home to the powerful Medici family who ruled the city for centuries. Florence is known for its artistic patronage, hosting artists and thinkers including Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, Botticelli, and Machiavelli. Venice, one of the most powerful republics on the Italian peninsula. Sitting on the northwest coast of the Adriatic Sea, Venice is a major center for commerce and art in southern Europe. Milan. One of the largest cities in Europe, Milan was once a major city-state on the Italian peninsula before becoming part of the Spanish Habsburg Empire. It is an economic and cultural power due to its position along central trade routes. All right, great. Emihid says there's still some old traditions practiced in Finland that never died out, in part now incorporated to Christian holidays. Like we still celebrate Midsummer, and some people do Midsummer magics, though few take it very seriously. Right, yeah. It's, that's what the church did, was appropriate a lot of holidays and practices local to their regions, which in some ways meant some vestige of it survived in a more widespread form for longer, but also at a major cost. Even though, of course, things would have changed one way or another, but, it's still just like cultural homogenization. Italy. No wonder your senses are dull. You've been down there too long. Spend enough time in these mountains and you'll be able to smell a storm coming. How long will that take? 10, 15 years? I don't think I have that long, Big Jorg. What'd you spend all that time in Italy doing, anyway? Other than art, I mean. Ooh, okay. What was I doing when I wasn't arting? Was I a hedonist, a pleasure seeker, who's social and experienced in the enjoyable vices of the world? A craftsman who lives to work and dedicates all of his time to his art? Fuck that. A bookworm. Andreas spends all of his non-working free time finding and reading as many books as he can. A rapscallion. A penchant for getting involved in petty schemes, pranks, minor crimes, and fistfights. Businessman. Andreas devotes much of his time to self-promotion on that grind set, optimizing business expenses, making investments, and balancing his books. Ooh, I'm gonna have to go with hedonist. That sounds the most interesting, by far. Oh, now I'm straight? Italian women are beautiful and the wine is exquisite. What do you think I spent my time doing? Sounds like fun, but you better not let Father Thomas hear about it. And there's Father Thomas. And a very interesting legged bird, moon-assed person thing creature over here. Why not? Priests tell us to emulate the lives of the saints. I revere St. Augustine, who said, "Lord, make me chaste, but not yet." Augustine. St. Augustine of Hippo was an early Christian philosopher, theologian, and bishop of Hippo Regius. He is recognized as a doctor of the church and is most known for his works, The City of God and his autobiographic Confessions, as well as his development of the doctrine of original sin. Interesting that a party boy came up with the doctrine of original sin. Don't worry, there's gay stuff in this game. That's good. Thank you. What a relief. If you say so, Andreas, I still think you're going to get in trouble with Father Thomas. Jorg! Anyway, I have to get going. Jorg, let's go! Dad's already acting like I'm taking too long, even though I did all the work to get that rock out. See you later, Andreas. Until later. This game is really scratching my medieval history special interest. Might have to buy it. You should. I'd be curious to hear from all people who are interested in that topic, like, because I've heard this game is well researched. So I'd like to hear people's perspective on it. So here we have Endris, the blacksmith. Oh, Andreas. Good timing. Do you have a moment to lend me a hand? I'm already late to the Abbey. I swear it won't take long. It won't be long. All right, then. Wonderful. I've got too many irons in the fire. Or rather, shoes. Horseshoes. I miscounted how many I put in. Now I need a hand, else they'll overheat, and I won't be able to work the metal. Ooh. Minigame. Here, take the shoe in the tongs. Put the hot part of the shoe on the anvil, and I'll hit it with the hammer. Yeah. Banging it into shape. Nice. Good, good. Next one. Yes. Ah, well done. See? Short work. Thanks for the help, Andreas. I don't know what I was thinking doing all of those at once. It sure would be nice to have someone to help me out here every day. Have you considered a child? Ah, well, that's probably a topic for another day. Anyway, I don't want to take up any more of your time. I'll see you and Otto up by the Abbey guest house for dinner. And that's Otto. Great. Thank you. Thank you for the reminder. Until then. Yeah, I'm gonna play this a little bit like Ambrosio in Immortality, where I am certainly affiliated with the church for my own personal profit, and I'll let people put me into a certain kind of religious lens if I need to for my career, but I'm also going to be a party boy piece of shit. You made it awkward now. Oh well. Veronica. Martin, please, can you give me a hand here? What do you want? I'm keeping an eye on them. That looks a lot like standing there and doing nothing. Martin, for Christ's sake, help your cousin. Ah, morning, Andreas. Excuse us. One of the fence rails fell and the sheep started hopping it. Oh, everybody's asking for help all the time. Excuse me, I'll try to stay out of your way. Martin, are you going to help them? Should I offer to help them? Socrates says, perhaps helping others also helps us. It allows us to feel useful and take satisfaction in our work. Grobian says, that idiot Martin should be helping them. Yell at him. Give him a good scare. Hee hee. I'll do that. Wait, that's presumptuous. I'm not close to their family. I'm still gonna do it. Mind your own business, asshole. Martin, that's enough. And Andreas, leave the discipline to my mother. Oh, look, there's something going on up at the Steinhauer's place. Some kind of fight. Who's that on the horse? Looks rich. I don't know, Martin, but Lucky is giving him an earful. Christ, I haven't seen Lucky that worked up since Peter and Clara's wedding when Johann pulled his pants down. Peter, of course, we already know, and Clara we already know. Here's Johann. who flashed people. Very period accurate role playing. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do it like Ambrosio, where it's like, this is just a living. I mean, technically that's kind of what I'm already doing in real life, working for a Jesuit college, but I'm just not as good at faking it as they had to be back then. Knocked 2 of my man's teeth out. You don't want to feel the strength behind a stonemason's anger. Do you think he's a noble? He looks really rich. God damn it, Martin. Stay out of trouble for once. What, Aunt Hetty? Behave yourself. Don't we have enough to deal with right now? Andreas, if you wouldn't mind moving your skinny little body up the road, we need to get these sheep under control. Of course. See you later. Help your aunt and cousin, all right? Eat shit, Andreas. Can I get involved in this situation? Doesn't seem like it. Anything else I can interact with here? Doesn't look like I can go down there either. Move that skinny little ass, white boy. Sheep blocking the path. Oh, this is so video games. We're going to put some sheep in the way for now, to force the player to stay on rails. More little stupid chickens. And here's the Drucker house, and here's Klaus. Martin won't help you beat the end boss now. Oh well. Morning, Andreas. How's it going? Morning, Klaus. Another day at the Abbey. Another few hours to work on my masterpiece. Good to hear. You still coming by for supper tonight? Marie and Bert would love to see you. Now, again, having read Three Squares, The History of the American Meal, I know that pre-industrialization, people were not really eating large suppers. They were eating dinner, which was a noontime meal that was very large. And also, meals were not as social as they kind of became to be after, like, the Victorian era started really emphasizing the importance of the family, the nuclear family around the dinner table communal meal. And that before that, we're talking early colonization, and here, like, before colonization of the U.S., like, there was a lot of people just eating hastily over trenchers and no bowls and cups, and eating your larger meal in the middle of the day and not having much of a supper other than small things left over. Again, this is a big generalization. The historians in the chat, please weigh in, but I don't know if having somebody over for supper as a social calling would have been something people actually did back then. Oh, and there's Marie and Bert. Oh, wow, I love her beautiful wild hair. Very Charlie XCX. And then her little munchkin. Very cute. It's Farrar says, I have a lesbian friend who used to be a professor at Brigham Young University. Oh. Well, scam on. I love it. You really need to see these new woodcuts I have for an Italian edition of Till Eulenspiegel. Oh, shit. I meant to click on that. Fuck. I didn't realize Father Thomas let you print books in Italian. Come on, Andreas. He's not that strict. I know he's just trying to protect people from heresy? Sure, why not? Some of the things people are publishing these days would make a bishop's head spin. Or an abbot's. It doesn't take much with that one. I know it, but at least I don't have to deal with him much. So, supper tonight after Vespers? Which is the hour at dusk. Got it. Of course. Thank you. Great. I'll tell Marie and Bert you're coming. See you then. See you later. Now the house is locked. Lysander says, I think this is pretty accurate real social dinner, at least in terms of medieval Europe in this era. Okay, that's fair. Again, what I was reading was about American colonial practices, which obviously was a lot of people who were, like, really starving in the early days because they did not know how to actually farm on that land and were trying to reproduce European practices in a completely different place without the social ties or the resources. So it makes sense that things might be a little bit more formalized in terms of meal times on the European continent. Let's talk to Thomas. God bless Master Mailer. I hope your week is going well. Thank you, Father, but I'm running late to the Abbey. It's no problem if you don't have time for me today, but the question is, will you have time for the Lord on Sunday? You understand how important it is for your salvation that you receive Holy Communion, don't you? Oh, God. I do, but I've been working on sketches. I promise I'll make it to you this Sunday. Let's have an inner dialogue about this. I just stayed up too late on Saturday. I don't want to get into an argument with him about this. Would going to church on Sunday be such a burden? If not for his sake, consider it for your own. A man has many duties. Father Thomas should appreciate how hard you work to help the Abbey. This asshole can't make you go to Mass. To hell with him. Okay, I'm gonna go with the Socratic answer here, because it sounds a little bit more tactful, but still saying no. Almost everyone in town works hard, though. I do, but I've been working on sketches late at night, and... Andreas, this is about more than your success in this life. There is another... Oh my, what a blessed day to receive such an illustrious visitor. Master Mailer, this is Lorenz, Baron of Rothvogel, a great lord from the countryside near Worms. Worms, prosperous imperial free city in the western part of the empire. Located on the Rhine River, Worms has been the site of many imperial diets. Good to see you, Father Thomas. It is nice to be remembered fondly. I only wish all of your neighbors were as welcoming. The guy with him looks a little salty. Well, yes. What brings you back to our little town? My wife and I were returning from a trip to Venice. We spent a few days in Innsbruck, and it was terribly dull. Venice, one of the most powerful republics on the Italian peninsula. Already read that. Innsbruck, capital of the Austrian county of Tyrol and major stop on the imperial road connecting Italy and Bavaria. It is the closest major city to Curacao Abbey and Tassing. Notably, it was also the site of witch trials in 1485. Okay. So not friendly to people doing the old pagan practices, methinks. I mean, it has a certain charm common to these alpine cities, but the place was crawling with nobles for the emperor's diet. Diet. An imperial diet is an assembly of the 3 colleges of the imperial estates of the Holy Roman Empire. The prince-electors, the princes and dukes, and representatives of the imperial cities. They meet to deliberate on matters of importance to the empire. So it's kind of like a committee of a couple of different, or like a multi-cameral kind of, not legislature, but just gathering prince-electors, princes and dukes, representatives of the cities. Okay, got it. The emperor? Was he there? Did you see him? Oh, briefly, but he was sitting for a portrait at the time. Quite lovely. I didn't want to bother him or the painter. Who was the artist, my lord? I'm sure you know him. An older man from Nuremberg with enough of a reputation to paint the emperor. I'm sorry, my lord. I'm not sure who you mean. Have you heard of Albrecht Dürer? Pity. I thought he was known across the empire. Dürer. Albrecht Dürer is a renowned painter and printmaker from Nuremberg. He is revered in Venice as well as across the Holy Roman Empire. Since 1512, he has enjoyed the patronage of Emperor Maximilian I. Anyway, my wife wanted to stay a bit longer in Innsbruck, and I decided to ride ahead to make a visit to Curacao. I heard Father Matthias. I heard Father Matthias died shortly after my last visit, of course. Father Matthias, abbot of Kirsau before Father Gurnick, widely respected by the monks and nuns as well as the people of Tassing, known for his kindness and his love of books. Durer is a real guy. He's very known for his paintings. Ooh, we might need to look up some of these figures. Maybe let's do that. First, let's hash Maddie's Blue Sky. Nothing new about Metropolis. So let's see. Albrecht Dürer. Wow. These portraits are already really interesting. Wow. Okay. So fucking detailed. This is not what I expected. Wow. Is this a self-portrait? So he did woodcuts. Dürer was pretty hot too. Love that guy. Oh, have a good night. It's Farrar. I'll try not to catch the plague. Andreas's look is inspired by him, I remember reading. That makes sense, the long hair. Yeah, wow. He's so stylish. Wow, look at this guy right here. That's cool. Are these like war, death, famine, pestilence? I reckon. Smash wood. Wow. These are crazy. It's more sophisticated than I expected, to be honest. I guess just because we've been looking at the kind of goofy medieval drawings of dogs and stuff until now. He was super popular because he rode the wave of printing presses being invented. So he was sort of the first guy to mass produce his art. Wow. That's so cool. I don't want to get in trouble with Twitch for showing you nudes. These dogs. It's the density, too, of just this rock formation and all the foliage. This is just stunning. That's so beautiful. Just like the layers of like different like shading and like depth of color to these leaves and the dirt. It's all like very delicate and like almost lacy. Wow. Really beautiful stuff. Okay, this will be fun. When we learn about an artist in this game, we'll definitely have to pull up their work because I don't think I've heard of Albrecht Dürer. Oh, and there's Emperor, or is that the Emperor we were just talking about? Maximilian, yeah. Really cool. A great loss for the Abbey and for us all. Indeed, by good fortune, I recently came across a copy of the Historia Tassiae? Historia Tassiae, an account of the early history of Tassing. Kirsau's previous abbot, Father Matthias, had a copy. Baron Rothvogel brought another to the Abbey as a gift. By good fortune, I recently came across a copy of his Historia Tassiae he was reading during my last visit. Yeah, wood and metal etchings. Yeah, so detailed. Father Matthias was hoping to find a second copy to corroborate the contents of the first. Have we looked at Father Matthias? Oh, we don't have a picture of him because he's dead. It contains some fascinating details about the history of this place. I'm afraid they might even cause a bit of a scandal. Huh. Ah, yes. But I must be off. There will be time enough to discuss Tassing's past later. I commissioned a manuscript from the Abbey through Father Gurneau, and I have come to check on its progress. And there's Father Gurneau. Oh, my lord, if you have come to see your manuscript, you should speak with young Master Mailer here. Not quite a true master yet. I still have to marry and be approved by our city council. I'm going to skip that. It's an honor to meet you, my lord. Andreas is a journeyman artist from Nuremberg. For the next few months, he's also helping in the Abbey's scriptorium. Scriptorium, a room for writing, illustrating, and illuminating manuscripts. Though typically associated with monasteries, they have disappeared from almost all abbeys by the 16th century. A Nuremberger artist working in an abbey scriptorium in 1518? Oh, we should talk, Andreas. I must know the story. So I've found myself a job that's largely outmoded by this point in time, it sounds like. Of course, my lord. It would be an honor. Wonderful. It's so rare to find someone in the countryside who knows anything about art. Yeah, I'm gonna get in close with this fool. I gotta see what he's up to, and maybe get some of those coins. Thank you for the introduction, Father Thomas. Come to supper at the Abbey tonight. I'm inviting you to the abbot's table. Did the abbot invite me? Oh, don't worry about it, Father. Just show up after Vespers. What is he gonna do, refuse us? Excellent. We will see you then. Mailer means painter, by the way. Nice. Miklaus, I'm dismounting. Run ahead of us and take the horses to the Abbey's guest house. I'd like to take my time talking with Master Mailer. I'll meet you there. At once, my lord. So then, a journeyman from Nuremberg. Forgive me for saying so, but you seem a little old to not yet be a master. Are you unmarried? No, I'm not married, but in truth I came to my vocation later than my father and brothers. I was in university for a number of years at Erfurt. Erfurt is one of the most populous cities in the empire and is located near its heart. It has been home to a respected university since 1379 and is a center for humanist thought. Erfurt! Wonderful. The same university as Martin Luther. Have you read his works? Tremendous mind. Martin Luther, priest and professor of theology at the University of Wittenberg. Controversial for his opinions on the church's sale of indulgences to forgive sin, which were recently published and distributed throughout the empire. So this feels like it's a test of my allegiances. He says things about the church that should have been said years ago. Might get him into trouble, but he's a brave, brilliant man. Wait, you may have even met him. Did you? You must tell me. No, he was a few years ahead of me. I need to take a side. This guy seems like he's sympathetic to Martin Luther's stance, but could be bait. I'll go with it. Still, his ideals do seem fascinating. I agree wholeheartedly. I simply must meet him if I get the chance. I wonder if the good brothers of the Abbey have heard of him. Perhaps they have even read his list of 95 theses against the Church. A list of propositions against the Church's practice of selling indulgences for the remission of sin. It was written in 1517 by Martin Luther. Do they follow his Substack? Father Matthias was not above having a lively debate. I hope Father Gurneau does not disappoint in that regard. But enough about Luther for now. Tell me about your university studies. Forgive me, Baron, but did you attend university? You seem very well educated. No. My family is merely wealthy enough to have provided me with all of the books and tutors a child could dream of. I have all knowledge from Aristotle. I love all knowledge from Aristotle and Cicero to Ficino and Erasmus, and everyone in between and yet to come. Do American students learn about Martin Luther much? It's all over our history lessons. We get a pretty limited European history unit at all. You get a little bit of typically when they're talking about like the Pilgrims and the Puritans and like original like colonization of the US from England, they'll often do a little bit of set dressing of telling you about the kind of religious and cultural history in Europe that's kind of leading to just different groups breaking off from the Catholic Church or rising up in resistance to the Catholic Church. And so there's usually some little sidebar in your textbook about Martin Luther. And other than that, you know, if you take a advanced placement European history class in high school, you'll learn a little bit more about it. Or if you have to take some kind of class on religion or theology, like if you go to Catholic school, then or something like that, then you'll learn about it. But other than that, you'll probably hear the name Martin Luther and the theses, and maybe it'll be written somewhere what it was about, but you don't really get any more than that. And I would say the majority of Americans would not remember having learned that unless they had reason to care about it otherwise. Yeah, that's what I'd say. Very very limited coverage of really any European history pre 20th century, and that's about what you get. Yeah, you maybe get a little Henry VIII too in the same vein of like, oh, you know, Church of England, like just any kind of like general banner of like, oh, these fractures from the church. Like, we don't really learn about the Holy Roman Empire at all. Like, as like we don't have a unit on it. We don't really have like a frame for learning about it. Again, unless you take like advanced placement European history. Yeah, religious schools will go into it a little bit more, but otherwise, you can get by here not learning any of it. Uh, Aristotle, Greek philosopher and student of Plato. Renowned as a polymath, he wrote on a wide variety of subjects. His work is extensively cited by current scholars, and even more work is attributed to him than he could have ever written. Cicero, statesman, scholar, lawyer, and renowned orator of the late Roman Republic. He is revered both for his contributions to Latin literature and his skill at rhetoric. Very apt for our Megalopolis watching friends. Ficino, or Ficino? Marsilio Ficino was a 15th century Italian priest and humanist who was one of the leading figures of the Italian Renaissance. He is well known for his translations of the works of Plato into Latin. I've not heard of him before. Erasmus. Erasmus of Rotterdam, a Dutch priest and philosopher who is preeminent among northern humanists. He is known for his works in Latin and Greek as well as his calls for reform within the church. I may have misjudged the Baron. It seems he is as well read as any university student. In truth, I am simply happy to speak with another well-educated man. Now then, did you earn your doctorate? Oh, did I change the font there accidentally? What did I do? No, I didn't. Only a master's degree. I started working toward a doctorate, but didn't finish. Oh, that's a shame. Oh, what did I do to change the font? I'll have to figure out how to change that back. Okay, pick a background that will affect your character's choices. What did I study? Theology. Then I'll know Catholic theology, biblical knowledge, canon law, heresies, and similar subjects. Imperial law. The basics of the fractured laws that govern the various states of the Holy Roman Empire. Or medicine. Basics of biology, medicine, and illness. I am going to go with imperial law because that's what I want to learn about. It's because Andrea's perception of him changed, and so his font changed as well. Oh, that's cool. So rather than seeing him in this like more affected script, now it's like I see him more clearly, or I'm listening to him better because I respect him, and so that's why it's easier text to read or something. Interesting. Law. I suppose I thought I could practice in Nuremberg. Oh, I'm like, he's just like me. He has the same font as me because I see him as like me. Okay, got it. I never had much interest in the subject, honestly. A bit dull for my tastes. Besides, the Empire is such a mess of jurisdictions. Bavarian law, Rhenish law, Franconian law. Nonsense. I'd rather use my money to pay someone who studied that nonsense than learn it myself. You, if I had any faith, I would have prayed you'd never show your face here again. Oh, it's Ottilia. We know she maintains the pagan practices. Curse you, Lawrence Rothvogel. Perched as dogs, tearing you to pieces would be too kind a fate. These rustic communities display a shocking lack of hospitality, don't you think? Hmm. What was that about? Who knows? By the time I finish guessing, the old crone will probably be dead. I'm giving him a bit of an Asterian flair in my mind. Well, what of your early time in university? Every student must study the trivium and quadrivium. Triv, trivium and quadrivium, yes? Trivium and quadrivium. The trivium and quadrivium represent the lower and upper divisions of a classic liberal arts university education. Latin grammar, logic, and rhetoric form the trivium. Okay? So kind of humanities-ish, or just English, basically. Arithmetic, geometry, music, and astronomy form the quadrivium. So that was like, I was gonna say the stem of its time, but music goes there too. I guess music is kind of computational. Interesting. Did you have a favorite subject? Ooh, okay, what do I want to be good at? Latin, grammar, and vocab. Recall words of wisdom from the Roman Republic and Empire. Logic. Andreas instinctively thinks through the implications of information as he receives it, is adept at spatial analysis, and can easily perform complicated calculations in his head. Ooh, this is like Disco Elysium. Ooh, oh boy. Orator. Andreas excelled at rhetoric in university. He is a skilled teacher, persuader, and public speaker. That one's almost too easy. Occultist. Andreas knows a soul-endangering amount of theoretical and practical knowledge on alchemy, astrology, theurgy, necromancy, and various magical rites and ceremonies. Heavens and earth. Andreas knows a great deal about the constellations, heavenly bodies, and their movement. He's an astrology girly. He's also familiar with various plants and animals from study and personal experience. Like, I've seen a bee once. Let me tell you how that is. Um, so I guess so far I've made him a hedonist who, as I'm role playing it, is kind of playing the game of getting along in the church for his own career, but doesn't really believe in it and is trying to kind of fuck off from participating in church life as much as possible in terms of like being devout. And he's also an ex-lawyer, so he's like he went or lawyer in training. So he went to school for law, kind of dropped out, bummed around, dipped his wick, and then became an artist. So I think it makes sense for him to have had some Latin training from that earlier life when he thought he was going to be a lawyer bro. Basically, he's like any party animal lawyer who kind of dropped out afterward. Partied a little too hard. Music was pretty mathematical back then. Lots of strict rules on composition that you had to follow. Yeah, so that makes sense a little bit with the arithmetic. I focused on Latin. It's useful in so many ways, but especially for understanding manuscripts. Wonderful. A beautiful language used in the greatest empire of the ancient world. Tell me, what is your favorite sententia? Sententiae, sententiae are commonly understood moral maxims, typically originating from ancient Rome or Greece. They may be employed as a sort of quasi-logical rhetorical shorthand among educated audiences. Yeah, so they're like heuristics. Sententia and sententiae. Tell me, what is your favorite sententia? Everyone enjoys the smell of their own farts. Remember to tell the tale of another's kindness many times, but whatever kind deed you do for others, keep quiet. Yes, Cato the Younger, an unflinching defender of the Roman Republic. Or an aphorism, I guess. But what did his principles get him? Death at the hands of Caesar. Not quite true. He died by his own hand. And when Caesar learned of it, he said, Cato, I resent you for your death, for you denied me the chance to spare you. A bitter end, but not without measure of sweetness. And your other studies? Was there anything else you excelled at? Oh, I get another set of skills. Okay. Should I be well balanced? Let's think here. If I was going into law, I would probably have been a good orator. But I also feel like that's a little cheap to pick that skill. And when it's a skill you have in real life, sometimes it's more fun to roleplay something else. But it would make sense, if I'm ambrosioing it, that I could have been getting myself as far as I have from being able to butter people's buns a little bit with my words. Yelling loudly fucks in this game. Okay. Logic would be useful, but I did my first Disco Elysium run front loading a lot of the like logical intellectual skills, and it was such a failure, and I stopped and then had to overload it with empathy, and so I feel like playing the character super autistic is just in that way, that like analytical autistic is not necessarily as much fun. A cult would be fun. I don't know how to roleplay it. I don't really have a, in my mind, explanation for why this character would be good at this stuff. And also, if he's trying to insert himself in the church, knowing a lot about heavenly bodies, the heavens and the earth might be useful. Ooh. Let's do orator. It just makes sense. The art of persuasion, naturally. Rhetoric. Ah, I assume you study the Greeks and Romans both. Yes, Aristotle and Cicero, of course, but also Christian thinkers like Augustine and Thomas Aquinas. We've read all of these except for Thomas Aquinas, an immensely influential philosopher, theologian, and jurist in the tradition of scholasticism. Can aliens please abduct me? Hi, Dr. Price. Just wanted to pop in and thank you for writing your book. Oh, hello. Thanks for coming by. I'm glad you liked the book. Lorenz says, true, we have less use for public discourse than senators did in the Roman Republic. Exactly. The doctors of the church weren't trying to persuade politicians, but to move the mind towards Christian truth. Still, the principles remain the same. Invent your arguments, then arrange, style, and internalize them before delivering them to your audience. Splendid, though I suppose an artist has little use for rhetoric, especially in a place such as this. Not true. Rhetoric is also an art, and like other forms of art, it should be created for the audience and its purpose. Augustine mentioned, it can be practiced as easily in the streets of a rural town as in the curia of Rome. We haven't clicked on Rome yet. Rome. Though outshone by its northern neighbor, Florence, Rome is still the seat of power for the Catholic Church and an impressive center for the arts. Well put. Ah, there's the abbey. I have good memories of this place, and of Father Matthias. I was sad to hear of his passing. How did you come to know him? How did you come to know of Curacao at all? My family have been patrons of Curacao for, oh, I don't know how many generations. Some years ago, I heard that Curacao still had a wonderful library and artisans. Professional artists have taken over most manuscript production, so I was shocked to find an active scriptorium here. So, for a long time, it was monks and people with the church copying down the manuscripts of books. But at this point in time, in the 1500s, it had moved over more to artists doing it outside of the church. Is that what I'm gathering? I'm gonna say this is as good a place as any to create art. Certainly, though I'm sure you miss the comforts of Nuremberg when you're stuck in a drafty old abbey like this. I'll get back there soon enough. I'm in no rush. Should I mention money? That seems a little bit uncouth. I think if I want to get in this rich guy's good graces, I shouldn't debase myself by mentioning money so soon. That's good for me, since I still appreciate the Abbey's work. I commissioned a manuscript through Father Gournot a year ago. I thought I would stop by and check on the progress. Wait, are you the artist working on it? It's a prayer book with 20 illustrations. I know the work, but no. Oh, wait. I know the work, but no. I do know the artist well, the venerable Brother Piero. Oh, Brother Piero, no. Oh my god. Can somebody do a posture check? Brother Piero's got that bad posture. He's got that desk hunch. Oh man. He just like me for real. Oh, Brother Piero, my beloved. That's so cute. Tech neck. Exactly. How venerable. He still has his wits and his skills, if that's what concerns you. Brother Piero has an incredible talent with color. Then I very much look forward to seeing it. Yeah, this is crazy. Like, okay, everybody, anti-posture check. Make your posture worse. Cat back it. Oh, thank you, Vitriol Link. It's crazy. Like, there wasn't distribution rights for books. There wasn't like copyright like that. So if there was a book that you wanted there to be more copies of, you just had some guy copy it down, but he had to make, or somebody else had to make new illustrations. So it wasn't like it was like sanctioned the way the author has a publisher and the publisher has a whole process of like picking illustrations that actually match and reflect the text. You could just be fucking making shit up. Or fucking it up. That's crazy. I'm learning so much from this game. It's so fun. McLaus, tend to the horses and the baggage. I'm heading up to the abbey. Yes, my lord. Well, let's not keep the abbot waiting any longer. Ooh. Her vestments look so swaggy. Nuns. Quite unusual for a Benedictine house to have monks and nuns, even if they are separated. Benedictine. Founded in the 6th century, the Benedictines are a Christian monastic order that observes vows of obedience, poverty, chastity, and stability under the rule of Saint Benedict of Nursia. The church closed most of them centuries ago. But then Curacao is a place out of time, in more ways than one. Why were they closed? Monks and nuns living side by side cannot behave themselves. I don't blame them, though. The church shouldn't either. It's just human nature, after all. Ah, you must be Father Gournot. I am Lorenz, Baron of... Yes, the Baron of Rothvogel. So welcome to have you here again. We actually did meet on your last visit. Oh my god, that font is crazy. Ah, if you say so. I'm not good with remembering faces. Please forgive me, my lord, but I wasn't expecting you for another few days. Yes, I know, but I wrote ahead. I just couldn't wait to see my manuscript. I'm sure it's no trouble. Yes, I mean, no, it's no trouble. Do you want to see it now? Oh, in a moment. I could do with a bit of refreshment, though. May I grab something from the kitchen? Yes, yes, certainly, my lord. I will meet you there. Something about that font just immediately made me want to talk deeper. Just so fancy. Andreas, I don't know what you were doing with the Baron, but I need you in the scriptorium now. Why are you taking this out on me? He's not my problem. This is a bad time to ask for an advance on my payment for the Book of Hours. Why are you taking this out on me? He's not my problem. Urgh. Shit. I should have asked him about an advance for Gertner's taxes. Fuck him. Maybe I could just convince Brother Mateo Matthew to pay me early. Oh, his glasses. Oh my god, he's got the face like Milo from that, what's that one Disney movie? Atlantis. Mateo. There's Mateus and then there's Mateu. Gender goals. Everybody wants a shaved pate and the round specs, right? Am I right, fellas? Ooh, the page turn. Now we're in the upper abbey. Look at this little nun. Oh, the little chubby nun. She's so cute. Oh. A reliquary containing the hand of Saint Moritz, who is said to have once held the Holy Lance. Saint Moritz is the patron saint of Tassing. Legend states he was the Egyptian-born commander of a Roman legion who converted to Christianity. They were all martyred for their faith. His hand is a relic in Cursao's shrine. Holy Lance, also called the Spear of Destiny or the Lance of Longinus. It is the lance that pierced Jesus' side on the cross. Many legends surround the lance, and several places claim to possess it. Okay. So they have the hand of this convert to Christianity, this Roman convert to Christianity, that supposedly once held the lance that killed Jesus. Cool. Very cool. Cute painting here. Brother Mateo maintains this shrine along with some of the sisters, who paint badges for pilgrims. Margaret. God bless you. Brother Piero? No, wait. It's Master Mailer. I thought you couldn't see, Sister Marguerite. During the day, I can see some colors. How did you know it was me? You and Brother Piero both smell of the pigments you use. But you're taller, and you have another smell to you, like fish or burned almonds. Oh, that's old linseed oil. Popular among the Italians. Brother Piero doesn't use it. I don't think she needs to know that I'm covering myself in linseed oil. I'm also much more handsome. Well, I wouldn't know. God has saved me from the temptations of beautiful men. You'll just have to trust me then. Yeah, I'm flirting a little bit with the blind nun. Not a chance. Have a good day, Sister Marguerite. God bless you, Master Mailer. That's cute. Lisbeth. God bless you, Master Mailer. Oh, she's keeping it highly formal and not talking with me any more than that. I get it. Boundaries. Let's talk to Gertrude. She's so cute. Oh, I love her. God bless you, Master Mailer. How goes your work in the scriptorium? Very well, thank you. Oh, then I guess you wouldn't be interested in the saffron Agnes Steinerum. Steinerin? Is that a U? Let's take a look at that. Agnes. Okay, there's Agnes. I guess you wouldn't be interested in the saffron Agnes Steinerin received yesterday. What? Saffron? Really? Where'd you hear that? Sister Matilda saw her at the Albans. Maybe you can convince Prior Ferenc to get some for your yellows. Good to know. How's Mousefanger? She's around here somewhere, hopefully getting to the baby rabbits before Sister Matilda does. And there's Sister Matilda. Oh, with the hat with the little corners, the little points. I don't know what it's called, but I love those. Until later, Sister Gertrude. Bless you, Andreas. Maybe I'll see you by the shrine of Saint Satia one of these days. Saint Satia, one of Tassing's patron saints. Satia was a local pagan who converted to Christianity and miraculously aided St. Moritz's soldiers with food in the dead of winter. She was martyred for her actions. Wow. Is Tassing a real place? Or is this fictionalized? Or some of these figures fictionalized? Okay, there's the Abbey. Here's my journal. Alright, what else do we got over here? We got the church. Is there anything else I can see here? I can go to the cloister. Let's check out the cloister. Tassing is made up, so are the saints. That's cool. Mousefanger, Mouse Hunter, their cat. Oh, cute. Okay, it's pretty big in here. Infirmary, chapter house, monastery, loquarium. like you, Loki. Loquarium. Place where people be talking. The large garden, courtyard and lavatorium, toilet, refectory, Sebhat, church, dormitory. Let's talk to Sebhat. God give you health, Master Mailer. Brother Sebhat, I'm surprised to see you still here. As am I, but I will be leaving soon, returning to Rome. I and my bishop regret that we could not reciprocate Father Rodolph's generosity earlier. He showed much kindness to our priests at the Council of Constance many, many years ago. Council of Constance, meeting of bishops that took place between 1414 and 1418 in the Diocese of Constance to end the papal schism. It was also notable for the condemnation and capture of the Bohemian theologian John Hus. Wow, it's just so interesting how in this period in history moved at a slower pace. Like, they're talking about feeling a sense of responsibility based on actions that took place a century earlier. Just the scale of history as it was talked about was so different then, and people were more mindful of the past, or a longer stretch of the past. Jan Hus. Thank you. Any pronunciations I bungle, let me know, because there's a lot of different languages all getting pulled from here, and my dumb American ass is not fluent in anything. So, will you remain in Rome? That is up to my bishop, but I will miss these mountains in any case. You should travel to Ethiopia, Master Mailer, and see the highlands. God has blessed my home with a wondrous beauty. I would love to, someday. I still need to return to Nuremberg and open my workshop. Yes, someday. Until then, if you are ever in Rome, I may still be around. I've only made it as far south as Florence, but I'd like to see Rome. By the way, if you have some time in the next few days, it would be nice to share a meal with you and some of the townsfolk. The townsfolk? I'm accustomed to strange looks, especially in rural places like these, but I have had kind words with the baker and his wife. Oh yes, the Albans, Ulrich and Gret. There's Ulrich, and there's Gret, the Albans. I offered to tell a story to the children and their mothers over a meal someday. Gret seemed excited by the idea, but I would be more comfortable if you were there as well. Alright, I'm going to be an ally, or an accomplice. I can certainly make time. Thank you, Andreas. I look forward to it. God give you health. Finally helping somebody. Kitchen and cellar. Oh my god, this area is huge. And the cemetery. Wow, okay. There's a lot to get into here. I don't even know where to start. Large garden. Let's go to the aquarium. Cloister and the church. Okay, so we're just passing through in here. For now, not much. Let's go to the church. Oh, how lovely. Ridiger. I don't want to interrupt him. Go to the tower of the crypt. The dormitory. The Old Bailey. Oh, we can talk to Mateu. Mateu. How do I pronounce that? We'll talk to him. God bless you, Andreas. He's so cute. How is the sacristy today, Mateu? The same as yesterday. Does my vocation seem silly to you, Master Mailer? A little. Your calling is in the world, Master Mailer. Mine is here. Even if you find keeping order in this place foolish, the Lord does not. God be with you. Mateu. Mathea? It's French. It's pronounced the same as Matthew. I'm getting mixed information here. Mathea? Mathea? Or just Matthew? One more thing. I have a favor to ask you. I could see how it could be Matthew. Yes, Andreas? I was hoping you could give me pay for the latest manuscript early. This isn't part of the agreement you made with Father Gournot. You'll be paid on the completion of each additional manuscript you illuminate. Illuminate, not illustrate? You'll be paid on the completion of each additional manuscript you illuminate, not before. I only have a few pages left, Brother Mateu. I'll finish them in the next few days anyway. I don't know if this is an ironic Donald J. Trump, but I'm not gonna chance it. Where are they? Oh, I actually don't see them in the list of viewers. Well, Well, Eric, if you're still here and you notice this Donald J. Trump person say anything, just do me a favor and ban them. And maybe I will make somebody else a mod. Yeah, Lysander, I'm going to make you a mod as well, too. If anybody does any fuck shit, feel free to ban them and delete them. Illuminate. Decorate a page or letter in a manuscript by hand with gold, silver, or colored designs. Oh, okay, so all of the kind of lapidary embellishment on the sides of, like, medieval books and stuff. Cool. I only have a few pages left, Brother Mateu. Or, I don't know, whether maybe it's Matthew. Matea, or Matthew. Brother Matea. I'll finish them in the next few days anyway. Then I think you can wait a few days to collect your wages. This abbey runs through mutual agreements, not haphazard payments. Breaking such contracts would cause undue trouble, not only for Cusao, but for Tassing as well. Is that why Father Abbot has increased the taxes on the Gertners? What is this about, Andreas? I would like to help the Gertners pay their taxes to the Abbey. Then plead your case to Father Gurnot. It's his decision. The matter is pressing, Brother Matteo. In the name of Christian charity, isn't there anything you can do? What's giving you pause? Oh. I'm not being very persuasive. I thought I was making fun of him in a charming, negging kind of way. My sacred duty is giving me pause, Master Mailer. Speak to Father Gurnot. I have no problem paying you early if it is the abbot's will to do so. God bless you. Damn, I fumbled that. Oh, he stopped singing. Rudiger, let's talk. God bless you, Andreas. A charming, nagging kind of way. Okay. Yeah, I can't help it. I'm role playing him toxic. He's a lawyer. He's an orator. He's a party boy. He's a faker in the church, just trying to make his art. Come on. I'm playing him a little d-baggy. Has your voice yet recovered from Easter Mass, Rudiger? Oh, yes. It was a bit of a strain, but a worthy sacrifice. Well, if the Lord could give us his all on Easter. Exactly. Have a good day in the scriptorium. Have a good day singing. See, that's how you bullshit someone. Okay, let's check out the tower and the crypt. Not much to do right now. But we get a nice little view of the mountains. And let's check out the crypt. Spooky, creepy. The foundations of the abbey were built when the Romans occupied this land, not long after the death of Christ. Wow. These tomb markers go back centuries, all the way to the founding of the abbey. Abbot Dietrich, from the height of Cursao's power in the 14th century. Those days have long passed. Investigate. Ooh, this is new. A lovely relief of the Virgin and Child. Shame it's hidden down here. One of these parts must move somehow. Though that's nothing special. There must be something else. That was it. Now what? Ooh, okay. Secret passage. Let's go to the library. Huh, a secret entrance to the library. I'll have to remember this. Will it let me go right now? Click map tab to access map. Oops, wrong thing. Okay, it's all coming together. Where is the library on here? Okay, it's right there. Okay. Noted. And it looks like the scriptorium is by the Old Bailey. So if I was actually hurrying to get to work, that's where it'd be going. And that is right here. And the sacristy is closed. Let's check out the dormitory first, since we're here. Damn, I've got a better setup renting a room. That goes to the cloister. Oh, okay. And here we are. So we can go over to the Old Bailey and go into work, I guess. Church, scriptorium, cemetery, and also the scriptorium. Pretty big building. The prior's house. Let's snoop around in there real quick. Why not? What is this, a Volvel? I've seen these before in astronomy and medical tracks. What's this one for? 2 wheels. The top wheel has Greek letters and holes cut out to reveal Latin letters underneath. The texture on there is really cool. And the outer edge of the lower wheel is divided into 4 sections, each bearing an elemental symbol. Got it. 24 holes, enough to cover all letters in the Greek and Latin alphabets. A quarter turn of the upper disc aligns a different elemental symbol with the top of the lower disc. This is what earth, fire, water, and air. And that reveals a different set of letters underneath. I wonder what it's for. A cipher of some sort? I need to investigate more. This has to be connected to something else around here. Okay, so now that's just chilling right here. I can't pick up this letter or do anything. Yeah, nothing else in the prior's house. I guess we'll go into the scriptorium. Oh, is this the guy who's all bent over? No, that's like a different guy, Adoc. This does not seem like such a bad gig, honestly. I don't know if I could have gotten by as a monk or a nun or any of that shit, but just writing down shit for hours seems like one of the better ways to spend one's time back then. Here's the little Piero. Oh, his posture. Let's talk to Guy. Good day, Andreas. That's our Technec. We love him. How's your morning going, Brother Guy? It's fine. More contracts for the abbot. I love how the different fonts here is like creating that sensation of when you're at work and you can only talk to your coworkers' work sona rather than get through to the like real them. Even though it's more, from what Lysander's saying, is more Andreas's interpretation than anything else, but the distance the font differences create is pretty cool. I honestly don't care, Andreas. As long as the abbot is impressed, he could have me write the first chapter of Genesis until Judgment Day. Does the abbot's opinion mean that much to you? The abbot's and the prior's both. You're lucky. When you're done with this, you're going home. I'm never going to see Burgundy again. I need to make the best of the next 40 years. Yeah, see, this is why I don't think I could have hung as a monk. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it for 40 years. Not so much Guy as it is Guy. Brother Guy? Okay, cool. Thanks. Burgundy. Powerful former duchy of eastern France that became a province in 1477. Known for its wine, art, monasteries, and courtly fashion. So he's never going to go back to, you know, the fun, boozing and courting around in Burgundy. He's just here, transcribing for 40 years. Then I'll leave you to it, Brother Guy. Adoc. God bless you, Andreas. How are you feeling today, Brother Adoc? Ah, Mill. Ah, Mill. That's easy. I am well. Well done, my son. It is early. I will give you a harder one later. I look forward to all of your anagrams, Brother Adoc. Literal nut. Ah, yes. Until then. That's cute. He's a little word nerd. And then, now we gotta talk to the homie, the Technec, Piero. Andreas, God bless you. So good to see you. Good morning, Brother Piero. Good to see you as well. I don't like this weather. My bones ache. It means a storm is coming. Big Jorg Gertner says that if you can't live here 10 or 15 years, you can smell storms coming. That if you live here 10 or 15 years, you can smell storms coming. Brother Adok has been here long enough that we can always smell him coming. Hello. Do not forget, Brother Guy, the fate of the youths who jeered the aged prophet Elijah outside of Bethel. Are you comparing yourself to a prophet, Brother Adok? I am comparing you to an impudent youth whom the Lord, in his ineffable wisdom, may choose to strike down. I love how everyone says God bless you after literally anything. It's like, you suck, God bless you. Yeah, they begin and end every interaction with it. It's kind of nice. It's kind of cute. Brother Guy, please show more respect to Brother Adok. You're being mean-spirited. Yeah, I'm gonna take Brother Adok's side because, I don't know, he told me a little joke and he's cute. Stay out of this, Andreas. The old fart can defend himself well enough. I need no defense against the likes of you. God protects his faithful against the iniquitous. Oh, I'm sorry. This is hard to read sometimes. God protects his faithful against the iniquitous. Well, everyone seems quite lively. I suppose that means Prior Ferenc is not overseeing us today. He was here, but then he heard Lorenz Rothvagel had arrived, and he hurried out like a little mouse. And then there's our little Asterian buddy. Ferenc is so desperate to impress the abbot and nobles like Rothvogel. It's pathetic. You feigned kindness to Father Abbot and our prior, only to speak about them like this behind their backs. It's shameful. Oh no, Baron Rothvogel. His manuscript. I just realized that he will want to see his manuscript. How silly of me. Of course that's why he is visiting. Yeah, get to work, homie. Get drawn, buddy. Perhaps if you were younger and faster, you wouldn't need to worry so much about patrons' visits. Guy, someday you will stand where Piero is, and a young monk will stand where you are now. Mors etiam Daphnidi seculo venit. Death also came to Daphnis of Sicily. Daphnis, Sicilian shepherd who, according to Greek legend, was the inventor of pastoral poetry. In stories, he was the son of Hermes and a nymph, and was a follower of the goddess Artemis. He died young, the victim of a jealous naiad. I can't remember. I don't know how to pronounce that. Naiad. Humph. Anyway, what's the problem? The Baron is just one client. He has to wait like anyone else. Andreas, Baron Rothvogel is not like anyone else. He has powerful friends, including the Prince Bishop of Freising. Prince Bishop of Freising. Religious and secular ruler of scattered territories in the Holy Roman Empire, including the lands containing Tassing and Kirsau Abbey. Kirsau is already out of favor. Father Abbot does not want to have to deal with more attention. Well, if Prior Ferenc isn't here, I'm going to work on my masterpiece until he arrives. Oh, that's right. I need to reference the Indermaur manuscript. Indermaur, a prominent family of the Swiss Confederacy and Austria. Knock, knock, knock. Zedena. What do you want, Andreas? A book. The Indermaur manuscript, the Book of Hours. Book of Hours, a type of illuminated manuscript that contains an abbreviated form of the prayers for the divine office, in addition to other religious texts. Most are relatively plain, but wealthy patrons often commission lavish examples with elaborate illustrations. Okay. So it's a prayer book. Your hair looks messy today. Did you get enough sleep? No, because I was dreaming about you. Liar. Could I just get the book? Ugh, that's all the way upstairs. Can't you get by without it? I'm sorry, but I really can't. I need to reference it for my work. Really? My feet hurt and the stairs are so steep. I'm just gonna ask Eliminata to get it. And there's Eliminata. She looks sad. She's giving, what's her name from Mouthwashing Eyes? Anya. Sister Illuminata. Andreas needs help finding a book, and I don't know where it is. Andreas. Sister Illuminata, I'd like to borrow the Indermauer manuscript, the Book of Hours. Yes, I overheard. Here, please return it promptly. First time we're getting blue text. Oh, there goes Piero. Oh my god, and his hands, he walks with the little tyrannosaur hands. He's just like us for real. Oh my god, Piero, you're on a time crunch. What are you doing coming over to my cubicle? Andreas, may I see how your masterpiece is coming? Of course, your opinion is always welcome. Ooh. Beautiful. Yes, the composition is lovely. There's a joyful spirit in your arrangement of the figures. The contrast of colors is also quite nice, rich and beautiful on their own, but not overpowering the scene. It doesn't feel right. I don't know why. It's an excellent interpretation of someone else's work. Ooh, ooh, he called that shit a pastiche. This is my hedonist response. What do you mean? It's all my work. My son, you're copying the illustration from the Indermar manuscript almost exactly. So, what's wrong with that? Haven't I improved on it? Aesthetically, yes, it's wonderful, but I feel you have not given much thought to what it represents. It's November. In November, we show peasants leading the pigs into the forest to forage on acorns before the slaughter. Andreas, the peasants here are no longer allowed to forage acorns in the forest. Many great lords and abbots across the empire have forbidden it. Even Father Gurnot. What difference does it make? This is the way November is painted. But it is not the way November is. Wow. Art is illusion, storytelling, but in their most sublime form, these images illuminate a path to truth. It's most important to me that my clients are happy. They won't pay me for truth. Yes, but with God's grace, this book of ours will outlive us all. What will it say to those who see it in a future generation, centuries beyond our comprehension? Oh my god. We're getting into some real shit here about making art and how that art is remembered in context. Do you want to go with the easy trope that has been done before and that you know today's audience will understand? You know, doing this symbol for picking up the phone, even though a phone isn't shaped like that anymore, because we've always done it that way. Or do you want to actually document the way your reality actually is right now in a more honest, rough-hewn way so that people in the future can actually see how things actually were? Wow. Because anytime you're putting your own references, illusions, allusions into the art you're making, you're assuming a common language with the audience. That's taking it away further from the literal truth. And you don't know, you can't comprehend centuries beyond now what their tropes and shorthands and symbols are going to be and what they're going to mean. So you're introducing, anytime you use some kind of like stock phrase or symbol, you're kind of reducing the comprehensibility of your art to the future potentially. Interesting shit. Especially for a game to be saying that is itself looking at the past, or some notion of the past and history, as unknowable as it is. This is so good. Oh, Brother Piero destroys AI art in 20 seconds. Yes, he destroys a lot of just hackneyed, obvious art. Some will gaze deep into your lines and paint to seek a deeper meaning. What will they find? But you need not listen to my opinions. They are just the thoughts of one old monk. There is no place for the monastic scriptoria anymore. In truth, this room is a place out of time. Why is that? Why has Curacao kept this up for so long? Some people, some places, have a difficult time letting go of the past. I am not among them. The creation of books, of art, is no longer the province of monasteries. So be it. More people will be able to write, more will be able to read, and in so doing be brought to truth. Don't you think there's a danger in anyone being able to write, anyone being able to read anything? Posting could happen, Brother Piero. But I'm not going to take that stance. I'm going to say, I think there'll always be a place for artists like you and Brother Adoc. And Guy gets shafted. And Brother Guy. It's kind of you to say so, Andreas. But you need not be concerned for me. I have lived a long life and am happy to have served the Lord. But when he calls for me, I am ready. Wow. Oh, okay, so we get a little clock. Certain events advance the clock of the day. Got it. Oh my god. Adoc's got that posture too. Oh my god. He's sticking his ass out. Ah, where's the time gone? It is already terse. Terce, monastic hour corresponding to 9 a.m. One of the little hours of prayer. Terce precedes Mass and the chapter meeting. How did anybody have time to get anything done when they had to, like, wash their clothes by hand? Getting dressed was more complicated. Cleaning was more complicated. You gotta pray 9 times a day. How the fuck? It's crazy. Too much talk. I must ask forgiveness for not honoring the rule. The rule. The Rule of St. Benedict of Nursia is a book of instructions for monks living together under the guidance of an abbot. Written in the 6th century, damn, the rule provides the principles for living a monastic life. These guys are not washing their own clothes. I know that. I know. Again, they have life easier than most people during this time. They're not cooking their food either, right? So literally all they're doing is praying and writing. But every aspect of life was still harder. Like, clothes were so much more complicated to even put on back then. Like, going to the toilet was harder, you know? Like, everything took so much more time. Until later, Andreas. Until later. Walking with his little autistic hands. Shilharsa says, in Duck Amuck, they play a snippet of a song associated with minstrel shows. When Daffy is dancing as the film strip starts malfunctioning. I wouldn't have thought the attempt there was tap dancing until I read a paper discussing music in Looney Tunes. Oh, this is a great illustration of the symbols breaking down over time. Thank you for sharing. Playing minstrel show music and dancing, and then the film strip starts malfunctioning. And it doesn't look like tap dancing because you've seen kind of more modern, or at least like mid-century tap dancing. Super interesting. Thank you for sharing that. Alright, Illuminata's trying to talk to me. Andreas, what was that noise? Oh, I'm sorry, Sister Illuminata. I knocked a bowl of paint to the floor. But then Prior Ferenc came in, wrote in one of his books, slammed it closed, and then left. He was in such a hurry. I don't think he even noticed me. He was slamming books shut? Prior Ferenc should know better than that. Some of those manuscripts are quite delicate. He seemed to be in a great hurry. I think he's on edge since Baron Rothvogel arrived early, which is why books should not be taken out of the library unless it is necessary for divine reading or work in the scriptorium. Divine reading, Lectio Divina is the thoughtful reading of and meditation on Scripture. The practice leads to prayer and contemplation. It is a daily part of life in Benedictine communities. Thoughtful reading and meditation on Scripture. Are you still mad at me for borrowing the Chronica Clara? Chronica Clara, the Clear Chronicle, a history of the universe from creation to 1082. Written by the Irish monk Marianus Scotus. Yeah, I think the minstrel music is supposed to signify it as tap dancing. But Daffy's naked. Oh, like he's not wearing tap shoes. So it doesn't read as tap dancing. Are you still mad at me for borrowing the Chronica Clara? No, anger is not an appropriate response for a nun. But the fact remains that you tricked me into giving you that book for no valid reason. Not valid? Is it not valid to want to see the great work of one of the great Irish scribes? One who wrote masterworks that even now grace libraries in Cologne, Fulda, and Mainz? Cologne, large, powerful, free imperial city on the river Rhine. It is a major hub for commerce between Italy and the Netherlands. It is also a popular site for pilgrims, as its cathedral contains relics of the three wise men, represented as crowns on their arms. Fulda, town built around an old Benedictine abbey near the center of the empire. Fulda's abbots are imperial princes and wield great power. Mainz. Located on the Rhine River, Mainz is the home of the Archbishop of Mainz, an elector of the Holy Roman Empire and Primus Germanae, the Pope's substitute north in the Alps. Or Mainz? I don't know how to pronounce that. No, it's not. Not unless it pertains to your work or the abbot permits it. Now, if you'll excuse me... Wait, what's all this fuss about Lawrence Rothvogel? Why is Prior Ferenc so nervous? Lawrence? I didn't know you were familiar enough with the man to use his Christian name. Anyway, I haven't dealt with him personally, but the prior and Father Abbot have. I only know that he's purchased a number of our most valuable manuscripts over the years, and he paid enough to help the abbey when we needed it. Like what? What did he buy? I can't remember. You know, I have my own responsibilities to attend to. How about this, Andreas? If you help me recover some missing books, I'll tell you what I know about the Baron. Well, I was hoping to work on my masterpiece, but I suppose I can help. I understand, but there is rarely a time when I am in the scriptorium and the brothers are not present. Thank you. It is for the good of the abbey. Where should I begin? Out there, where you and your cohort have carelessly strewn books around the scriptorium. I will tell you what books I'm looking for. Find them and return them to me. The first books are 2 volumes of the Aeneid. The Aeneid, a poetic epic telling the legend of Aeneas, a heroic Trojan who struggles to reconcile his personal desires with his destiny to found Rome. It was written in the 1st century BC by the Roman poet Virgil. Okay. Reddish covers, 14 inches by 10 inches, 3 inches thick. Innsbruck inches or Nuremberg inches? What? Nuremberg inches are long. What color are the covers again? Reddish. Oh, I know the ones. They're among Piero's favorites. He keeps them by my desk. They are not his to keep. So they're by my desk, so that's probably them. Oh. There's a fair amount of wear on these. I hope you don't mind. Those volumes were old even when Piero started to make the copies. How long ago was that? 3 years. The Aeneid is not one of my favorite stories, but I understand why it appeals to Piero. Oh, she steps into the book. Ooh, how cute. Oh, that's so cute, taking the pose. Oh. Aeneas chose his duty to the gods over his lover, Dido. Italiam non sponte secur. I do not go to Italy willingly. Wow. I did not make you a scholar of Roman poetry. I did not make you for a scholar of Roman poetry, Andreas. The words sit easily in my memory. I'm not sure why. Probably out of love, rather than duty. Do you think Aeneas' sense of duty appeals to Piero? We all have our vocations. Brother Piero takes his more seriously than most of the others in this abbey. You clearly take your chosen vocation seriously. Andreas, I didn't have a choice in my vocation. Few women do. Well, surely it's not that dire. Is it really that bad? Let's see what my thought palace has to say about this. Is being a woman that limiting? Grobian says, she's exaggerating. It's fine. He's the Harry Dubois of this game. Beatrice says, how would you know? True. She knows her life better than I do. Groundbreaking. Area man learns humility. Is being a woman that limiting? Andreas Dido is burning. You're right, of course. I appreciate that you understand how limited our roles and our choices truly are. Oh. Even in stories, we are maidens to be rescued and wed, cruel seducers of men, or wizened crones. Like Dido, we ordinary women are merely tools in the tales of men. We can never be the protagonists of our own stories. No woman is exempt from that, from the empress to a nun. It is our lot. I suppose I understand now why you are not fond of the Aeneid. It's fine poetry. For men. Now, the books, if you please. Wow, go off, Illuminata. Thank you. Next, Wretched Gurin. This is a printed copy. Green cover, diamond pattern. Wretched Gurin. Or Guerin? An Italian chivalric romance written by Andrea di Barberino in the early 15th century. The titular character rises from impoverished origins to go on heroic adventures and discover his noble parentage. Originally published as a manuscript, it enjoyed greater success as a printed book. Oh, a little romance novel. With a little rags to riches fantasy. I do not have the size in the ledger, but hopefully the description is enough. I know the one you're talking about. Brother Adoc was reading it. Okay, so Adoc was over here. I don't see it. Oh, there it is. The beauty of this book truly belies its ridiculous content. I'm surprised the Abbey owns a copy. We don't. It belongs to Amadea Rusco of Lugano. It's a Venetian edition that's quite valuable. Lugano. Highly contested Swiss market town located in the southwestern Alps. The Dukes of Como in Milan fought for control over it until it was claimed by the Swiss Confederation in 1513. Wow. He loaned it to us 5 years ago. It was subsequently lost, and the abbot has received 3 letters about it. I've certainly seen the brothers enjoying it. That book is not appropriate reading for Benedictine monks. A baby is sold to pirates, raised a servant, then lives a life of adventure, wooing princesses and fighting in tournaments. You forgot the best part. In the end, Guerin learns he has royal blood, the son of a duke. He reigns as a king and dies a pious hermit. What's not to love? Benedictines should be dreaming of reconciliation with our Lord, not lusty adventures. I suppose you're right. It's better suited for knaves like me. It's not my place to reprimand anyone for reading stories, least of all you, Andreas. Still, we must be on guard. Fantasy leads to temptation. Temptation has led to the downfall of many men and women. So she's an auntie. Sometimes, yes, but books like this, it's all the same type of fantasy, isn't it? To die better than we are born. And what's the problem with that? Why shouldn't a peasant dream of being a king? There is neither Jew nor Greek, neither slave nor free, neither male nor female, for you are all one in Christ Jesus. We may be one in Christ, but we are not equal in this world. It isn't this world you should be concerned with, Andreas. But the book, Andreas, we must return it. Or would you like the abbot to receive a fourth letter? In truth, it's unlikely you'd be considered liable under Bavarian law. Oh, are you a legal scholar now, as well as an artist? Well, actually, I did study law at university. I don't care. I'm not concerned about the legality of it, but the principle. The book, please. I love these discourses they're having on art and the fantasies contained in art. And whether the art we're consuming is uplifting us or appealing to us for certain reasons, or if it's an evil temptation or it's an escape. It's so fun. There is only one book left. Then you will be freed from bondage. A dark red cover, 8 inches high, 5 inches across, 2 inches thick. Oh, I remember that. I believe Brother Guy was reading it. No, it's right here on this stool. Now that I think about it, Guy has always been guarded about this book, like he was hiding it. Very good. Please bring it here. What is this, anyway? Maybe I should have learned French at some point. What is this? Why are you asking so many questions? Just give it to me. Why won't you tell me what this book is? Because it's a dangerous book, Andreas Mailer. One the previous abbot tolerated in spite of a papal order to destroy it. 3 French bishops condemned the book. All copies were to be burned. Its author shared the same fate. What? Why? I don't know, Andreas. It isn't my place to question the judgment of one bishop, much less 3. And before you ask, no, I haven't read it, but I know it contains a dialogue between love and reason. So the book is dangerous. When did the bishops condemn it? Ooh, she's floating up to heaven. And so am I. 200 years ago. Oh my god. Like, it's crazy to think of how precious information and art was then. And how there was still destruction of it for ideological and political reasons. All the time. And moralistic reasons. And just how special it would be to protect something like that. What? Why? Why is it still here? Because Father Matthias loved books. All books. He didn't want to see it destroyed. Oh, I can choose my stance. Am I pro? Am I anti? Am I kink tomato? Books shouldn't be destroyed, even if their content is in question. The Holy Church does not share your opinion. It is their law we must contend with, not your emotions. The Church was wrong. The Church was wrong. I'm not going to debate this with you, Andreas, and Father Matthias is gone. It's not my place to question the former abbot's decision, But when Father Gournot learned it was in our possession, he wanted it destroyed. Well, I refuse to give it to you if all you're going to do is destroy it. What? Why not? What are you going to do with it? Read it and become a French heretic. That's not funny. I'm serious. Give me that book, or our deal is forfeit. I won't tell you anything about Baron Rothvogel. I'm going to have to use my persuasion. Consider the sound theological reasons for allowing this book to exist. More sound than a condemnation from 3 bishops of Paris? I mean, who are you to trust, them or me? I've been fumbling so far. Thank you for making my decision so easy. Did you leave university voluntarily, or were you expelled? I propose a compromise. I will take the book from the Abbey, far away. I'll be gone by the time Father Gournot asks about it, and if you like, you can say I stole it. I doubt he'll make a fuss about me stealing a book he wanted destroyed. I don't like this, Andreas. It feels wrong in my heart. It feels right enough in my heart for both of us? No. Quite a few negatives working for my persuasion check. I don't think so. That doesn't even make any sense. I appeal to your duty as the librarian of this abbey to not destroy this book. My duty is to God and to the vows I made, to the rule. Okay, we're getting a little progress here, but not enough. But what about the librarian's rule, the rule to protect books? No, you just made that up. We have nothing more to discuss. The book stays with me. So be it. Now it's Sext. Time to eat. That's the bell for Sext. The brothers will be sitting down for dinner soon. Lunchtime dinner. The monastic hour corresponding to noon. One of the little hours of prayer followed by dinner. I guess my question is, how long did the prayers take at a little hour of prayer? Is it like a minute we're talking here? It really shows how much of the discourse just keeps being recycled again and again and again. Yeah, even though the reasons people might put forward for censorship or for thinking that certain thoughts and feelings are bad, which runs even deeper than censorship, the reasons for those kinds of things have changed, but a lot of the arguments being made are not all that different. I should see if Otto is around and still wants to eat with me. Oh, yeah. Now we didn't get background info on our crush. I know. I could have gotten some tea, but I feel like he already likes me a lot. So I think I'm going to be fine from a visual novel perspective. I also am starting to get the sense here in this game that it's not a dice roll, right? Like a skill like persuasion. Even if you have some points in that, maybe all that does is just unlock that as a way to move forward in the game, that you can use your logical skills. Like it unlocks dialogue in the same way that knowing certain history means I know certain words and laws and stuff. You still have to make a persuasive case, and how you've treated people up to that point matters, not just having riz. So I'm going to have to keep that in mind in how I'm playing this moving forward. I think he's working by the guest house below the abbey. Okay. We need to go to the guest house. Let me go to the map here. Okay, that's right there. Okay. And here's all of Tassin. Okay, cool. They usually prayed for 30 minutes as far as I know. My God. It's a lot of work. I want to go through the church or the dormitory. Okay, yeah, it doesn't super matter. It's not essentially random. Yeah, it's more role played and storytelling, you know, which I can definitely respect. Is there an exit over here? Yeah. Oh, cool. You can kind of start your walking early before the last animation is done. That's nice. So I think I'm wanting to go out here, right, to the lower abbey. There's stupid Martin, who hates me. Yeah. There's the guest house. Oops. I don't know why escape is not letting me back now. That's weird. That's really weird. The escape key is not working for me now. Is the game frozen? Let me take a look here. Doesn't seem like the game's frozen. So I'm not sure why it's not letting me move around. This is really weird. Okay, hold on. Okay, there we go. I think I must have just gotten stuck on that mouse navigation. Okay. Let's go to the guest house. There's Endress. Oh, they're chilling right here. Okay, perfect. Good day, Master Mailer. Ah, Andreas, good to see you. I trust Clara gave you my message. Afternoon, Endress. Otto. Clara did give me your message. Yeah, it seems like the game does save a lot. Sorry I missed you this morning. I was still asleep when you came by. Ah, the abbot really lets you get away with anything, doesn't he? Leave him be, Otto. I'm hungry. Let's pray. Bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts, which we are about to receive from your bounty. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. 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 How did the morning treat you? Not too bad, thanks. I hurt my damned hands splitting timber to replace a bad beam in the abbot's house. Select food item to eat. Oh, what a delicious feast. I'm gonna have a cheese. I love a fucking lunch like this. I love charcuterie bread. Little nuts, little spreads, little vegetables, little cherry tomato in a plastic bag. Fuck me up. It's not that bad of an injury. It just galls me that the abbot bleeds us dry and we're expected to do work here when it suits him. I'll eat my nuts now. Oh, it's not all that bad. I get a lot of good work from the abbey. Casting pilgrims' badges isn't really smithing, but I don't mind. Eat my bread. Anyway, I saw you walking with that Baron, Rothvogel, in the meadow on your way up here. What's that all about? Let's see. He's here to check on a commission. I understand he was friendly with Father Matthias. He was, though Father Matthias had some misgivings about the Baron. What kind of misgivings? That he fools around with young women. He's married, of course. Otto, that's only gossip, and it isn't Christian to spread rumors like that. It's not gossip that he beat up that farmer a few years back, old Rannig. May he rest in peace. Well, I wasn't there, so I don't know. But if he did that, yes, it speaks poorly of his character. We had a long conversation on our way up here, but he didn't mention anything about that. What did you talk about then? I mean, no offense, but what does a nobleman have in common with an artist? He couldn't sense my inherent moral quality. Martin Luther, my time at university, a variety of other things. He's quite well educated. Sure. I imagine you have a lot of time to read when you don't have to worry where your next meal is going to come from. This bitterness and envy are not good for our Christian souls, Otto. It's not envy, Endris. No one should get away with what he does. What this Abbey does. No offense to you, Andreas. I don't have any problem with the books the Abbey makes. I mean, I never did learn to read, but if people are paying the Abbey to make them, it doesn't bother me. No, I understand. I see why people resent the Abbot's rule. He's a harsh lord. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. Oh, Otto, did you see that the Bower's sheep escaped the grazing fields again? Yes, I did, and I didn't do shit to help about it. No, but I'm not surprised. Martin was supposed to fix that fence, and he probably did a bad job at it. He's always in a foul mood, and he could be the laziest soul in Tassing. He can't even hold a hammer properly. Married and a father at such a young age, and he barely lifts a finger for his wife or child. Martin's a grown adult? I thought he was 12. Martin really is always fucking up. Damn, I'm glad I bullied him. On top of that, he's a damned thief. And before you say it, Endris, that's more than just gossip. Look at him, over by the guest house. He's probably figuring out what he can steal with the least amount of effort. I admit he seemed less than helpful when I saw him this morning. He's a born shirker, sure enough. I know one when I see one. Especially when you look in a mirror. Speaking of the Bower's sheep, their ewes are shorn and the women will be spinning it soon. Otto. I got it, Endris. No need to tease. What God wants to happen will happen. Gossip in a video game. Oh, yeah. The whole reason I play video games is conversation simulator, pretending to be neurotypical simulator, or having the skills of people with like empathy and reading faces and things like that. And gossip is definitely in there too. The shade of it all. Looks like a storm's coming. We should probably get back to it. Right. I'll catch up in a moment, Endris. Oh, Andreas, say hello to Eva for me if you get a chance. Oh, Eva, huh? Well chosen, Otto. Andreas, don't. Just tell her hello for me and keep out of it. You're the one involving me in your courtship. I didn't ask to be your messenger. Fine, fine, I'll tell her. Nuns. The working hour. Time to get back to work. What's going on in the guest house? Anything worth seeing? Oh, that's really nice. The sound of the fire getting stronger when you walk over to it. And the bells. Oh, here's Miklaus, Rotvogel's friend. God be with you, Andreas. Is that all you got to say with me? Okay. Wanted to learn about my crush, but okay. Martin, what are you doing? Ugh, what is it? Leave me alone. I was hoping to see you, Martin. I wanted to apologize for calling you an idiot. What am I gonna do with your apology? Stuff it up your stupid fat nose, Andreas. Just go away, I'm busy. What exactly are you doing? Mind your own business. I'm only curious, and curiosity is a virtue. You're nothing but a snoop and a windbag. Piss off. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Well, fine. Oh, the horsies. Oh, there's something going on over here. Hello, Matthew. God bless you, Andreas. Hello, Brother Matthew. What are you doing out here? I thought you were aware that in addition to my role as Cursau's sacrist, I tend to the shrine of St. Moritz. He is the patron of Tassing and Cursau both, so it is my duty to ensure his reliquary is well cared for. The shrine is always beautifully kept. Whenever I visit, I always leave inspired. The martyrdom of St. Moritz provides inspiration to us all. You are familiar with the life of St. Moritz, are you not? I'm afraid I don't make a habit of learning about every saint I come across. Well, you ought to learn something about Tassing's patron saint while you're here. By all means. St. Moritz is most widely known for his martyrdom at the hands of the Romans. He protected a town of Christians from slaughter, and in turn he and his legion were decimated. Do you mean annihilated? Because technically decimation means 1 of every 10. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna be the annoying guy nitpicking here. What do you mean his legion? Wouldn't that mean he was a Roman soldier? Yes. He was a Roman citizen and led a legion made up entirely of Christians into Bavaria. When he refused to kill the Christians, even though they were traitors to Rome, the emperor had his legion massacred. Most of the pilgrims who visit come knowing only this, if anything, about his life. However, Tassing venerates St. Moritz because he was the one to convert the town and save it from destruction. Yes, I've been hearing about some of the pagan history in town. There are some in Tassing who still cling to the pagan traditions. Yes, God save them. St. Moritz and his legion were snowed into this pass, and the pagan townsfolk refused to aid them. The daughter of the town's leader, Setia, was moved in spirit and snuck from the town to convert. I think that's what it says. She led Moritz to a spring, and as soon as she was baptized, the snow melted, revealing all manner of fruits. Moritz and his legion were saved by these miraculous gifts. The town was converted, and the rebels fled into the mountains. What happened to Satya? She too was martyred for her faith by the rebels inhabiting the town. Now her shrine protects Tassing from harm. What an astounding story. Thank you for the history lesson, Brother Matthew. You are welcome, Master Mailer. God bless you. Until later, brother. I'm being nice to Matthew just because I like him. And I'm learning it's helpful to be nice in this game. Let's talk to Carl. Hello, Carl. Hello, Andreas. I love how the fonts tell you a little bit about the person's associations and affiliation and also their class background. So everybody affiliated with the church has this huge, elaborate font, and then kind of the townspeople have this more rough script. It's really cute. Hello, Carl. You seem busier than usual today. I'm behind in my work. I went up to the shrine of St. Moritz this morning to pray for his aid. The candle I lit had all but burned away. I was there so long. Now I need to catch up. Your dedication to St. Moritz is impressive. Oh, well, truth be told, I only started going to the shrine more often when Helena became pregnant. Her mother had trouble in childbirth, so I've been paying visits to Moritz Hand and Satya's shrine to pray for their aid. I hope that the saints hear your prayers. Thank you, Andreas. So do I. Oh, I can't talk to the family? That's too bad. The kids are so cute, especially this one in the hat. Let's go to the convent garden. So wait, was it the daughter? Was that young daughter the one who's pregnant? Did I get that right? The door must lead to the rest of the convent. Not for me. Prioress's house, convent aquarium. Oh, here's some other nuns chillin'. Oh, we've heard about Matilda and Margaret. And here's Sophie. Tassing is lucky to have so much woundwort naturally growing. I had to buy it back in Nuremberg. Assume that's for healing. Matilda. God bless you, Master Mailer. Sister Matilda, how are you doing? Mother Cecilia doesn't like us talking to men unless it's necessary to perform our work. Forgive me. Sorry to bother you. Thank you, Master Mailer. The many-petaled cinquefoil. It grows so easily, some consider it a weed. Margaret. God bless you. Oh, that's all I'm getting from Margaret. The sisters certainly keep their garden well tended. Pet Mousefanger! Yay! Mousefanger! I'm gonna have to go and play with my own little Mousefanger soon. Yes! Oh, you can pet the cat in this game. Yay! Oh, is she feeding squirrels and rabbits? God bless you, Master Mailer. How are things going in the nun's kitchen? I mean no offense, Master Mailer, but I cannot speak with men. My apologies. God bless you. And you as well, sister. video games where you can pet the cat, and the cat moves and does cute things. Sister Gertrude dries and stores all of her herbs here. Oh, I love Sister Gertrude. I would do anything for Sister Gertrude. She's so sweet. So obviously I know by now the rules against talking to nuns, and I'm still wandering around here bothering them. Very cool. A painting of Hildegard of Bingen, Mother Cecilia's favorite. Hildegard. St. Hildegard of Bingen was a Benedictine abbess, visionary, mystic, and prolific writer on a variety of subjects, from theology to musical composition to medicine. Cool. This is locked. The doors into the convent are locked to outsiders. Men, at least. An herbalist, too. Very cool. Let's see what the prioress is up to. With her beautiful vestments. Cecilia. God bless you, Andreas. God bless you, Mother Cecilia. Is there something I can help you with? I noticed that you took the sisters inside when I walked up with the Baron. What concern of it is yours? You said much in saying nothing. And now I will say even less. Good day, Andreas. Damn. Let's see if there's any other way to get at it. Nope, my apologies. That dialogue tree's closed. Well, a swing and a miss. These women do not want to talk to me. That's too bad. Nothing new going on in the shrine. Alright, let's maybe take a different route. Monastery Aquarium. So cool. Okay, we've been in the cloister. Been in the dormitory. Let's take a look at the cemetery. Just for fun. The apple trees have only started to bloom. It will be months before they bear fruit. Oh shit, that's Old Bailey. Wait. Not much to interact with over here. Bigger than I expected. Oh, here we go. A monument to the founder of the abbey. It's fairly recent. The funds were donated by their descendants. By her descendants. Very cool. Let's check out the animal pens. Oh no, I hope our crush doesn't turn out to be an actual menace. I'm sure he will be. There's no way he was a good guy. Oh my god, this pig. They're so stupid. I love them. Oh wait, there's this one chilling. Oh. And this pig came over to the sheep container. You're not supposed to be there, buddy. Abattoir. Not open. Oh my god. Love it. This area is so fun to look, just poke around. Like, I want to talk to everybody and do everything. It's all so cute. Sure, dormitory, scriptorium. Alright, back to work. Oh no, now I'm being watched. There's a fine line between I can fix him and he needs to die. Honey, don't I know it. I've been prancing across that line for years. It's just a compelling type. What can I say? Brother Adoc, this work, I don't know where to start. Inconsistent spacing, rough strokes. I need to put him in a blender. Yes, I need to punish him. You're working like you want to see this place closed. Brother Prior, I am working to the best of my abilities, and I dispute your criticism. I may not be fast, but I still have my talent. Praise be to God. And Brother Guy, why are you still on this page? What's wrong with you? Normally you're so reliable. Many apologies, Brother Prior. I will work harder. Piero, I can't believe this. Baron Rothvogel has come to check on his progress, and this is all you have? You should have finished this months ago. Is your mind so corrupted by age that you didn't notice the seasons have changed? Well, you're not the only one who will have to answer for it, so why should you care? Typical. Excuse me, Prior Ferenc, but I believe your point is made. Andreas, I will remind you that I am the master of the scriptorium, and you are a guest here. I agree, Brother Prior. Brother Piero's work is unacceptably slow. You are insufferable, Brother Guy. Oh God, give me the patience to endure this. Please, everyone, this is my work, and I accept responsibility for it. Prior Ferenc is right. Oh, here he comes. Little sassy bitch. He looks so smarmy. Prior Ferenc, is this mine? It must be, yes? It is, my lord. I can explain... No, I don't want excuses. I've come all this way, and I have to be honest. I expected more. It's nowhere near finished, and the style is... Well, it's very old-fashioned. I thought I made my desires clear. I feel like my generosity towards Curacao is being taken advantage of. Am I the fool in this sad story? No, of course not, my lord. Never. We can fix this, of course. Of course. We only want to accommodate you. Ah, Andreas. Good to see you again. How should I respond? How should I respond to this? The abbot already seems annoyed. Just nod. Don't irritate the abbot. Simply addressing him as my lord would be appropriate. Greet him with his Christian name. You are brothers and comrades in art. Hee hee. Oh, this is tough. But is it good to be respectful or to treat him like an equal? In this context, I don't want him to see me as lesser. But maybe I say the my lord thing, and then he says, no, do call me this. It acknowledges him respectfully without being overly familiar. My lord. Father Gournot, why not have Andreas complete the rest of the illustrations? He's clearly capable. Well, my lord, why not have Brother Guy complete it, if speed is your concern? No, I'm not talking about the script, that's fine. But the art, the illustrations. I want Andreas to do the others. Of course. I mean, if Andreas is all right with it. If it takes the pressure off Brother Piero, I'd be delighted to complete the work. There we have it. I hope this allays your concerns, my lord. Excellent. By the way, Father Abbot, am I still welcome at your table for supper? Naturally, my lord. Wonderful. I'd like Andreas to join us. Say nothing. I'm gonna have dinner with my new bestie. Well, that would be quite unusual. Unusual or not, I doubt that my good friend, the Prince Bishop, would deny additional guests at his table. What do you think? I understand. Yes, you're right, of course. Andreas may join us for supper. I look forward to it. Guy is pissed, but he has this, face that's, trying to smooth out into serenity. But we know, he hates your ass. Lawrence, they're gonna gossip. You had this planned. Big eyes. Whoop. You must have put your hook in the Baron this morning when you ambushed him in town. That's beyond ridiculous. Listen to yourself. Brother Prior, Andreas is not to blame for any of this. I am. Yes, you are, and you've embarrassed me, the abbot and the abbey. Prior Ferenc is right, of course. No wonder we don't get more commissions. Guy, can you stop flattering the prior for 1 minute? Ooh. You're so insincere and you're so obvious about it, Guy. Brothers! If you please, Sister Zadena and I would prefer it if you could keep the noise down. It sounds like Samson slaying the Philistines in here. Of course. Get back to work, everyone. Well, that was not wonderful, but there's nothing to be done about it now. I'll finish my work here and wash up in the lavatorium for supper at the abbot's table. Long work day. And here comes Vespers. So we might finish our first day. On this stream, at least. So now I'm going to the lavatorium, right? Wash my ass. Let me look at where that is on the mappy. Lavatorium. Oh, okay, so it's just kind of around through the dormitory in the cloister. I don't even know what to expect it to look like. Like, is it going to be like basins of water to wash myself with? Because people were using what? Outhouses to, like, piss and shit, right? Still aquarium. Infirmary. Wait, did it? I thought that lavatory was in here. Courtyard and lavatorium. Oh, okay. Oh, it's through the courtyard. That's right. That's the one place I didn't look. Silly me. The sounds are so nice. Oh, so is the lavatorium just this little room? I guess so. Oh, okay. It's like a little fountain. Hand washer. That's cute. Andreas, I'm so glad you'll be joining us for supper, though the circumstances are unusual, to be sure. I won't be able to speak with you, none of the brothers will, but it would be good to have you with us. That's a shame. I always enjoy our talks. Now, the same doesn't apply to you at the abbot's table. You can talk all you like, though I wouldn't recommend it. Father Abbot does not look kindly on idle chatter. Supper with an abbot and a nobleman. I could get used to this. Anyway, I'm sorry for how the prior treated you. It's not fair. It's humiliating. Oh, no, my son. There's no need to worry about me or my pride. And we all need a taste of humility from time to time to keep our feet on this earth. No, Andreas, you are my pride. I cannot claim to have taught you much, but I am proud to have known you and your work. It's the first time we're getting green text. And when you leave all of us at Curacao Abbey behind, you can call upon your friend Lorenz, the Baron Rothvogel, to help you in your career. There's nothing wrong with your style. It's not old just because a nobleman says so. Don't trouble yourself over it. Time passes for us all. Things change. The future will right over the present. You need not fear it, any of it, so long as you remain true to yourself and God. Now I must hurry to the refectory to join my brothers. I will see you inside. I'm washing my hands. So they did believe in washing hands back then? Because obviously they didn't know about germs, so... And I, of course, always had heard the mythology that, like, medieval people thought bathing was bad for your health. But I'm sure that's oversimplified. Oh, the refectory is right across the hall. Great. victory. Ooh, lots of guys. And I'm seated at the big boy table. Oh my god, look at this. This is so cute. Look at the guy with the eye patch. Oh my god, everybody's just chilling. Andreas, glad you could join us. Thank you, my lord. Father Gurnot, Father Thomas, Prior Ferenc. Here's like the little water boy for the people's wine. Simon Peter answered, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." IDI said, "I thought that was because they recognized that bathhouses could spread disease." Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That's certainly smarter than the way I always heard it was. That was just like, oh, they were superstitious and they didn't have germ theory, which is probably not accurate to how people were thinking back then. Just, yeah, a little belittling. Oh, the Gospel of Matthew, wonderful. Jesus replied, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for this was not revealed to you by flesh and blood, but by my Father in heaven. And I tell you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not overcome it." Lysander says, "Yeah, I remember reading that the doctors during the plague were like, there's something about washing hands a lot, but no one made the connection that it was because of bacteria." That makes sense. Yeah, they just didn't have like a working theory of germs. But even something like miasma theory of disease, it helps predict how some diseases spread. Like, if you're around the people who are sick, breathing their air, you might get sick. So, like, a lot of times they were making the best judgment they could with the information they had. And I also imagine just if potable water is limited, then washing is also limited. But that doesn't necessarily mean people think washing is bad for you. Have you read Matthew much, Andreas? Some, yes. Ahem. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you find on earth will be bound, or whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. Then he ordered his disciples not to tell anyone that he was the Messiah. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. That reminds me, Father Gurnot, have you read anything by Martin Luther? I can't say that I... He has some incredible ideas about the church. Brilliant, I think. Record scratch. My lord, is the meal to your liking? I believe I remember you enjoying our quail on your last visit. The quail? My God, Father Abbot, the quail's fine. But don't you think Luther's ideas are worth disgusting? He's talking about the future of the church, shaking things up in a way I don't think we've seen before. Father Thomas, you see value in his ideas, do you not? My lord, I mean no offense, but I do not. Brother Matthew, yes, how appropriate. What are your thoughts on Luther's attacks on the church's sale of indulgences? Baron, please do not involve the other brothers in this conversation. Yeah, everybody's freaked out. Fine, fine. What about Andreas? Uh-oh. Certainly a man who attended the same university as Martin Luther can spare some thoughts on his work. He's really put me in a difficult position. Why not join a debate? It may bring everyone closer to understanding truth, says Socrates, the person who died for that. Beatrice says, it would be wise to defer to the abbot's authority and decline. I need to be quiet. I don't know what else to do. To hell with the abbot. If he can't handle a little criticism, he isn't fit to sit at the fancy table. I don't know what to do. Lawrence won't like it, but this is the abbot's table. I'm going to go for it. Why not? Where should we start? Ah, a debate. Excellent. Why not start with the 95 Theses? Enough! Andreas, you should know better. Lord Rothvogel, you are our guest and held in high esteem, but you have worn out my patience. You will not be discussing Luther's work with Andreas, Thomas, Matthew, or with any other brother. Is that clear? I suppose, Father, it is your abbey, but you're taking too much offense at this, and you're far too afraid of change. Whether it's from Luther or someone else, reform is coming to the church. You had better accept it. What? Neither you nor Martin Luther dictate change to the Holy Church on their whim. This talk is beyond insulting. It's blasphemous, outrageous. How dare you? I see. I have overstepped my bounds, and I suppose I have ruined everyone's supper. My apologies. In spite of the unpleasantness, I will make good on my manuscript payment and the donation of my copy of Historia Taciae. If you cannot accept what the future will bring, perhaps it's time for you to come to terms with your past. Well, no need to overstay my welcome. Fathers, brothers, Andreas, good night. Why, Andreas? Why did you engage him? I expect better of you. Now then, I must ask you to leave so I can speak to the brothers in chapter privately. Brother Piero, please accompany Andreas out. I will take my leave as well. Good night. Thomas, I'm noticing, has a different script than most everyone in the church, especially at the head table. Lawrence is the guy bringing up the Joe Rogan episode. Yes. Very that. Except, I don't know, in my family bringing up the Joe Rogan episode's pretty normal, so me bringing up anything different is kind of the record scratcher. Oh well. Don't worry about Father Gournot and the Baron. I'm sure it will be all fine by morning. I hope Father Abbot can see that the Baron's heart is in the right place, even if he picked the wrong time to express himself. I think the Baron should apologize if he wants to be forgiven. Think on Matthew, Andreas. Our forgiveness should come like God's love, freely, without condition. In any case, I do hope the Baron respects the Abbot's wishes for the rest of his stay, for everyone's sake. Brother Piero, what do you think of Martin Luther's ideas? Ha! That is for younger and wiser men than me to decide. I am just a monk, thank God. Good night, my son. I love him. He's so sweet. All right, time to go home and have a little sleepy sleep. I should get some sleep. Didn't get much work done on my magnum opus today. Is this the way out? Yeah, to town. Past the stable. Uh-oh. Huh, there's a lamp still burning at the guest house. Lawrence must still be awake. I wonder how he's doing. What was he thinking? He's a baron. But he couldn't have expected that to go well. The storm doesn't seem to be letting up any time soon. I should get back to the Gertners. Let me see if my bestie's gonna let me in. No, it's locked. To the meadow. Oh, that's right. This is where we walked. Huh? Gah! Are you all right, Master Mailer? Did you see that in the aqueduct? The ghost? Maybe? Could be Roman. Maybe even an old pagan. Wouldn't be the first time people have seen ghosts around these parts. Have you ever seen one? Mm-hmm. Usually around the ruins. Who knows how many restless Romans lie beneath these stones? Well, I think I found Johann's long-lost sheep. Last lost sheep. I'm gonna head home. Take care, Master Mailer. I will. Thank you, Till. I think that's the way I'm going too, right? The mill. Oh, we can look at some flowers. Lawrence will drag us into a huge mess, I think, but we should still do it. Do him. Yes. Snowdrop's one of the only flowers that can bloom this early in spring at this altitude. A shrine to St. Moritz. The statue looks ancient. Ah, Columbine. Looks like it's coming in early. Is this the right way? Ah, no! Amali. Pale horse, still on the floor. Hello? Are you alright in there? Matins, the pale horse, death. Matins. Monastic hour corresponding to 2 a.m. is used for the night prayer. Oh, here's this guy. Thomas. Sister, listen to my voice. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Amalie. Yes. Yes, Father, I hear you. Am I here? Is this now? Yes, you are with us, and this is now. I apologize, Andreas. I imagine that must have been quite alarming. Is she all right? She is, yes. Sister Amalie is a mystic, gifted with visions when God sees fit to give her one. Some are more frightening than others. What is she doing in there? Does she live in the church? She lives there, yes. I'm a little surprised you haven't noticed her before. If you came to Mass more often, you would see that I give her communion through a window to her cell. Her cell? She is an anchoress, a religious hermit so devoted to God that she has enclosed herself in a cell next to the church. See, this is the scam. This is like how you get yourself a nice, secure position in the church without having to do that bullshit. She is dead to the world, but continues a life of prayer and religious contemplation, and sometimes, ever so rarely, she receives great and terrible visions. Is she local to Tassing, or was she a nun in Curacao? Neither. She came here from a Benedictine abbey in Lower Bavaria after it burned down. Bavaria, powerful duchy in the southeastern Holy Roman Empire. It is east of Swabia and north of Tyrol. Tassing and Curacao sit in the extreme south of the duchy, near the border with Tyrol. I am her confessor and caretaker. Many anchoresses are not literate. I write down her visions to help interpret them. I thought all of the monks and nuns at Curacao could read, even poor brother Volkbert. What's wrong with Volkbert? What's his problem? Why is he poor brother Volkbert? Thank you, Father Thomas. I must rest now. Oh. Her text just changed. It went from the kind of ornate church script to more common people script. Interesting. Of course, sister, which Thomas also has. I'm not quite sure what it means, except that Andreas sees them more as like of the people rather than of the church. Lysander said, I love anchorites. They sometimes had small gardens connected to their cells and a servant who brought them food. I assume they died really young, right? Like even having their needs met, like that couldn't have been good for their health, right? She is not unhappy, but she is in pain, both physical and spiritual. Her spiritual pain comes from her revelations. They come and go. I try to address them as best I can. The physical pain comes from a deformity in her spine and aching in her joints. I know of no cure for that, save prayer to the Almighty. Sister Amalie was saying she had a vision of death. Could someone be in danger? Oh no, don't rush to judgment. Her visions are divine and powerful, but they could have many meanings. Some of her revelations take years to comprehend. Some may never be understood at all, as God wills it. Still, the argument at dinner was quite troubling. Perhaps it has cast a shadow over our thoughts. Now then, the good sister appears to have fallen back to sleep. I must prepare for bed myself. Good night, Andreas. Good night, Father. Some of them stopped being anchorites and died as nuns or monks, but many were like die-hard about it, refusing to leave the churches even when pirates pillaged them. Wow. That's crazy. Oh, this is where I missed dinner at the Drucker House. Wait, which way am I going? Where am I going? I can't remember the name of the house that I'm staying in. don't see it marked. So it's not over here. Is it more to the... It's like more on a farm, right? Is it one of these ways? Outer Tasling. No, not there. Curacao Abbey, not there. Gertner Farm. This is where I'm going. Zimmerman House. Christianity finding some way to incorporate wise women. Yeah. Johann Bauer Farm, no. That little pretzel sign. There we go, Gertner Farm. Here we go. Now I remember where we were. Who we got here? Grampy's in his jammies. And the whole rest of the family's just sleeping right here. All crammed into a bed. And I have the fucking attic. I've got the nicest spot. The Picatrix, Key of Solomon, the Heptameron, Pyropheric keeps giving me all these books to read. Really should clean this up. Go to bed. It's getting late. I should get some rest. Go to sleep. Oh yes, my little sleeping tunic and my little leggings and my little hat. Love it. And here we are. We slept straight through the nighttime prayer hour. Time to go back to work. Alright, I think things are about to heat up. In all likelihood in this game. We've had our portent of doom. We've had our tense dinner with the family. So I think this is a good place to stop for tonight. This was really fun. I really like this game so far. The dialogue is really well written. I love the fucking conversations and debates people are having with each other about art and history. Like, I love that it's set in what to us, from our frame of reference, is a far away past. But they're talking about the past and history and progress and myth making about history. And there's a whole history of that town that's like basically erased already. Like the vastness of history and how much it's layered within itself is something that just awes me. The art was super beautiful. The music and sounds are great. I love this fucking game. I'm definitely going to be coming back to playing it more. So, yeah. Yes, Lysander, history is really... It's the shit. It really just captures the imagination so much for me. It just gives me new ways to think from learning about... It just makes me not assume as much about what I assume about life to be true or normal. It's so good. Pentiment is on sale on Steam right now. Yes, it is. And yeah, this was fucking dope. I love this. Let me close this game out, and then I'll find us somebody to raid. Thank you so much for recommending this game, Lysander. So fun. Really enjoyable. If I'm lucky, Condition Bleen will still be streaming. I saw that they were before. Looks like maybe they're not. Oh wait, Condition Bleen is still streaming. Most Washed Man in the Solar System Simulator by Police Knots. So we're gonna head on over to Condition Bleen, good homie of the show. See how he's doing. And yeah, well, we'll have a fun time chilling out there. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Pentiment is on Switch. It's also on mobile, so you can even play this shit on mobile. It's not that big and hulking of a game, which also means I'll be able to finish all of it on stream. I might try and get another session in on a weekday during the afternoon this week, depending. Yeah, really deep stuff. So cool. I'm so excited to try more of it. So I'll see y'all around soon. Oh, thanks for lurking, Blush Tiger. Glad you enjoyed it. I'm an archivist. I work with manuscripts, so I'm like hyped for it. Says Slime Mage. That's so cool. I would love to hear any of y'all's insights into just details in the game that are impressive that you're happy with, or just things that you know about, special interests that it gets tingling. Post about it in the Discord on the Non Time Theft Today stream channel, or yeah, anytime in the chat you want to share more. I'm really enjoying sinking my teeth into this stuff. So more, 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 more. Yum, 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 yum. All right, I'll send you over to Condition Bleen. Thank you everybody for chilling out tonight, and I'll see y'all soon.